Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fireside. I'm Eki in the booth with Bong Gripper coming at you tonight with the ninth TF2 Coaching Central Newbie Cup. This is going to be the first day, so we're going to get through the initial games here, and then tomorrow we will be covering playoffs. I'm pretty excited. I don't know how you're feeling about this one, Bong Gripper, but I mean, I guess how are you feeling about it?
Oh, I'm feeling great about this. I've had my hands in helping some teams out. Got to see what some teams are doing. Actual play level this time around looks pretty high, so I'm expecting some pretty good matches. Yeah, we'll get started today going over the first three maps, which is going to be Process, Gully Wash, and Into Bagel, rounding it off. Different than last time, actually bringing in Gully Wash. I know we've had a few different maps for the second 5CP map, so it'll be interesting to see what people do on Gully Wash this time around. But yeah, these should be some pretty interesting games. If we want to go over rosters real quick, because it seems like all these teams are raring to go, and I don't want to get too behind on everything. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we can start by going over the teams we have right now. I'll start off right now with what do we got? We got Team Billy's $9. This is coached by Woe Billy. This guy actually, well, Billy, I believe he was a Newbie Cup champion, if I'm not mistaken,
I
recently, maybe like
I
two Newbie
believe
Cups ago.
so.
So yeah, doing his service back to the Newbie Cup, now a coach. And yeah, we'll run down the roster real quick. On medic, we have Bob Man- Bob Manis Cool Pop. We have demo is D7US. Pocket Scout is going to be Sirius Burb. Pocket Soldier is going to be Bonzi 117. Flank Scout for the team is Devmung, and your Roamer Soldier is Sant Bowser. Excuse me.
All right, and their adversaries for this match are going to be upside down question mark and upright question mark, or as I am going to call them from this point forward, they're going to be. That's going to be their new name. On medic, you have Luigi 12345. You've got Zara 1231 on demo. Your pocket scout will be lightly salted. Your pocket soldier will be Omagin. I don't know how to say that. My apologies. Your flank scout will be Joe Biden 3864. And your roamer soldier is going to be Poor Rice Farmer. This team is coached by Rui and Redface. I recognize Rui. I'm not sure from where, though. I know that they have been pretty active in TF2CC, though, just with like coaching and playing pugs and all that kind of stuff. So two teams with some pretty well known coaches. Going at it for this first map, which will be Process, one of the cookie cutter maps, an absolute staple to see here in this newbie cup. It is the sixes map, so if you don't know Process, you don't know sixes. Pretty much, that
It's so
is
true.
that is
Yeah.
the way of the road. But yeah, I feel going into this, I guess what are you thinking we're going to see a lot of, looking at this level of
So
play, assuming that they're absolutely fresh,
yeah, so usually what happens when we start newbie cups and stuff is people are a little bit nervous, especially for the first match being casted, right? I mean, you probably haven't had a match to warm up or anything like that, so usually a little bit of nerves starting out. Some people just playing more reserved and stuff like that. We have seen some matches though, the first match of the day, where people start running stuff like beggars and just start popping off completely. So it's just kind of up to the star power of these teams that's really going to shine through right now. Other than that, it's really just going to come down to how prepared each one of these teams are, just in terms of readiness. Process being such a cookie cutter map, you really are going to be practicing it the most. It's probably the first map that you do learn, as it's the easiest to teach as well. So I'm imagining that we'll see just people trying to feel each other out on mids, trying to get used to what their game plan is going to be. I'm hoping that we can see some people just get used to sacks and stuff like that, but just as we start talking about the map, we're going to be going live here on this first map of Newbie Cup number 9. I'll have you take this away.
Absolutely. Going into this mid, I think something that's very important that a lot of people underestimate is the speed of your demo. Looking at it here, we've got blue team $9, which is kind of slow, but is going to be able to make it equal. And it does look like red is going to arrive with slightly less health, so it is going to take them a little bit more time to actually get ready to fight. A little bit of early height contest attempts coming out from red, but they're not very successful. But it doesn't matter. Blue kind of just gives it up for free, and they're really only playing on their side, finally committing, trying to rotate over into red's sad corner. Is going to have Serious Burb taken down by the rice farmer, but it is going to be a trade as Kurodan does go down to Bone Easy, and it is even players here. It does look like red is going to get their Uber a lot faster, though. They're at about 85 compared to blue, who's at 65. Their health is pretty bad as Mung does take down the rice farmer. This is a pretty long mid fight here, all things considered, but now it's going to be Zara in too far and is sectioned off. Now it's going to be Lightly Salted trying to get a salvage, is going to be able to find Bone Easy, but not quite able to find anything else. Mung is going to get that pick onto him, and that is going to be red, question mark, being able to fully pull out from mid while keeping their meta alive. Both teams actually able to keep their beams alive here, so if the players on can get onto second faster, then they'll be able to hold it evens, and that looks like exactly what is going to happen.
It's kind of exactly what we were talking about in the pregame. Just teams just were trying to respect each other, not going for anything too crazy. There was an early spoon attempt that I saw on that mid, but overall nothing really too explosive, right? Both the teams really trying to attend for high ground. So we are slowing down on second here a little bit, but you know, it's kind of expected what we wanted to see, but still an absurdly long mid fight than what I would generally expect from people on process, right? Usually it's one team gets caught out and they're losing so much ground and space that you really can't contend and fight your way back into mid. But even though the rest of question mark was just chilling in their choke, the rest of $9 just, you know, stayed in their corner, tried to play it safe as they're now trying to push their way into second, looking for some sacks or something like that.
Yeah, it is sack o'clock, so blue team kind of has to make something happen here. It does look like they try and go for something. Bone Easy is trying to find someone or anything. Maybe I'm not sure, but does get counterbombed in that choke. That's going to be 2 players down. That's not what I think blue team was going for. I don't know if they wanted to try and push in and bully them out and just get like a pressure cook maybe on 2. I'm not sure if that was the strategy they were going for there, but it does look like their sack attempt is going to come up short. Red team did miss their opportunity to send in a counter sack here and maybe try and get something off on to the blue med here, trying to get something onto Bobman. But you know, sometimes you miss windows. And you gotta take it and learn from it. But they are just going to be able to sit on 2 here, so they'll just be able to bait in $9 and maybe see if they can get another sack attempt.
In now, going in super deep. He gets 1 rocket on the medic, but really quick deny, actually. Super quick with dispatching that incoming soldier. So now it's up to a question mark to figure out what they want to do for this counter sack attempt. It looks like they were a little bit slow last time and weren't able to figure it out, but they're buffing up Kurodan right now as he is going to be flying through the choke. No stickies dead on him. He does get on the medic, 2 rockets, and is able to get the force. Amazing force from him. Very stock standard bomb from what you would expect, but still perfect nonetheless.
Whoa, D goes in deep. He gets so much off of it.
Oh my goodness. I am surprised that he's able to get anything off of that, but they are able to maintain their ad, and so they're walking through choke now. They pop the Uber extremely early, probably looking for a demo bomb through, but there's no scout really to follow right now, so it's just going to be Zara and Marius just in mid alone, trying to get anything. They're not going to find any kills, and now they're in threat of getting bombed and choke. They're able to take down Sam Bowser. The other bomb comes in from Bonzi a little bit later on, but he recognizes that's probably not the best choice ever right now. So probably just going to be another sort of mid fight going on right now as all these players are rolling out onto height for the side question mark, trying to boss their way into mid, and the HP is looking pretty bad for $9 right now.
Yeah, Bone Easy got taken down there as well, got sectioned off on the blue crate, so this is going to be a free mid cap for but maybe $9 will be able to find some peace in holding 2. I don't think has a real window to try and push in and get second here. Especially with how slow they're being. I think they just want to build out this Uber, and we're going to see a kind of flip-flop. We're going to see be in the position where they have to start sacking in to take down $9 med here. They're going to have to initiate it. They're going to have to start doing that pressure, which I think is something that a lot of teams maybe skimp out on. They skimp out on that pressure, and it doesn't let their sacks get as strong as they want to, but they're going to send something in right now that's going to be no damage onto the beam here, and that's what I'm talking about. You got to have that pressure, even if you can get something small from like IT. A little bit can go a long way, and unfortunately just didn't have enough pressure, didn't have enough people.
But here's the counter now. Bonesy in deep. He's going to find a really nice rocket onto the medic, but now able to get a second one off as both of these scouts on the side of question mark are just dialed in right now. They have really melted down the soldiers that are trying to attempt on their medics. So a little bit of a dry attempt, like you mentioned before. Not really any pressure going into the sack onto second. I would love to see them work their way into sewers. Maybe peek out through one of these shutters, try to get some space, maybe some spam down, just so the soldier can get through without all of the eyes on him. Right. We do have a soldier in the IT area, just trying to spam a few rockets. So that might be a little bit noted if they wanted to rip something quickly, but. Time is ticking, and you want to start getting these plays done as soon as possible if you really want to, swing the match in your favor and try to get a point on the board.
Yeah, you have to try and get something, out quick. You do still have 2 minutes 20 left on the clock to make this work, and I think something to mention as well is match config here is just going to be your standard scrim config, so it's not like what we RGL players are familiar with that Banny config. They're still running that scrim config, so once that 30 minutes is out, whoever has the most points is going to win. So parking the bus is definitely a strategy that can work. Neither team has a point here, so not really a question of who's going to park the bus, but just to put into perspective how much more time really matters in this kind of situation. It looks like we're gonna have trying to get in through the choke, maybe get some pressure.
Yeah, Kuro down and some kind of sack, he's bombing in now. He gets in one rocket, looking for the second, but a nice serve out from the medic on the blue team right there. Gets his way up onto 2 and is able to avoid the second rocket, even though his scouts weren't necessarily able to get that down. But also on the backside of it is lightly salted going down right now, so that's going to give a lot of space for the rest of $9 to try to.
Wait, do they know about Bone Easy? Pretty much right in their face. He's jumping now. Lays 2 downward rockets under the beam. Gets the force
on a 4
somehow
HP
doesn't
medic.
Get Marius, though. I don't know how the splash doesn't kill him, but that is going to be a very, very bad Uber from the side of Red, but not much they can really do about it. That is going to be the counter pop coming in from $9, and they're just going to wipe the floor. It's going to be Zara going down there. Lots of people. It is gonna be brutal
First
right now.
big momentum shift we've really seen this match right now, right? I mean, that bomb coming out and able to get the med down to 4 HP, finally forcing him down means that now we finally have what looks like a last push. There is some ad on the field if they do want to slow down on the side of $9, right? I mean, it's only about 30, 40 ad or so, but if these teams are willing to recognize that and try to take something with it quickly, they can easily convert around here. Now, they're going to have to contend with the gun, obviously. That's usually what you're going to have to worry about when you're pushing into any sort of last push, but, if they're able to figure this out quickly as they are nearing their Uber, then this could easily be some sort of advantageous push for them that could really convert into a round. The level 3 gun is up, though, so it's something to worry about.
I think something that might kind of tell how much these guys have practiced processes. Will they recognize that ad? And I think they will, but they are a little too late as they go in with about 20% remaining until gets their Uber. They do send Boneasy in through the right side. He is going to be able to find their way up into heaven. He's going to get a lot of good damage onto the demo. The Uber is going to come out from the side of but that's not going to amount to much for them unless they can find Mung here, which they will. So that's going to equalize the players here.
No in the back, though. He's on the medic, and the blue medic as well is still just in the enemy team's heaven right now. They're going to clean up the rest of them as well. The recollapse is amazing for the rest of the blue team right now. They're going to lose a lot of lives in the process, but Bonzi is just going to be where he needs to be at the right time, and that's going to be round one for $9. So going into this next mid, I'm expecting to see a lot more of the standard sort of poking and prodding, right? Teams not really committing too deep. There was that sort of spoon attempt that really failed early on, so not too volatile from what I'm expecting, but we'll have to see right now as both these teams are rolling out 2 soldiers on a height early on, so want to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and coming off the bat, a lot of early height denial coming out from D here, really punishing any players that try and get up there. It is going to be Bonzi and Sant going down here, so 2 players dead on the middle already. Barely able to save D here with a nice arrow, but almost gets taken down again. Arrow tanking the life into that demo. It is going to be a full retreat from the side of $9 as is able to secure that mid, but The med on the side of $9 lives there, which is an incredible stroke of luck.
You need that.
For $9.
You really do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, just the way that both of these scouts from the side of question mark, I mean, I saw both Lightly Salted and Pablo. They recognized their opportunity to get on height and just start mulching people. As soon as their soldiers really fell off of height, doing the damage they needed to, absorbing a little bit of damage. And they just won completely off of that height control alone. I'm surprised that they didn't try to walk into second off of those 2 picks, but you know what? There are nerves, so they're just going to be going for the sack. Overpaid Rice Farmer is going to go in alone. Again, another one of these dry sacks, and we'll have to see if Bonzi can do what he did before with this sort of counter sack that he did last time. I mean, it was a complete match turner by the time that he did it, so might be time to see what he has now. He's in really deep right now. Onto the medic, gets 1 rocket off, and he's able to get the force. A little bit of a fear pop from Marius, but nothing else really to come from it.
Yeah, nothing else really able to be done with that, and it does look like it's going to be Sant right on top of Marius here in that post, and is also going to get a lot of damage onto Zara there, and is going to secure those kills for his team. That cap attempt did almost come out from the side of but there's not really anything they can do beyond try and go for that back cap. They can't really survive there. Their Uber positioning is really bad in that post. They're all just going to wipe there, and that is going to give $9 a very, very advantageous position on second. And if they can build this out quick enough, they might just be able to walk it straight into last. They will have to be pretty quick about it. It does look like they are building it pretty well, though. They're at about 60% right now, and they're still building, and no one on red is trying to build it out there. Very committed to trying to make this gun work here. No pyro to protect the gun, interestingly enough, as maybe some of us may have expected, and they're trying to rebuild it here after it's been taken down. They are successful in getting it up to level 1, but it's going to be Bonesy trying to get in, does get denied by Lightly Salted here, and that is going to end any hope of a push from the side of $9, as they're not really able to find their way in with that gun there and that heavy. They have to spam one or the other, and it is going to be really, really difficult for them to get in. But we will see something hopefully great come from the side of $9 as we watch their attempts to sack in now. Hopefully they spam the gun out and what all, but
yeah, I don't know. I feel like they just had a little bit of a... They didn't really fully recognize their ad and just sent Bonesy in by himself on that push. Again, they could have just done what they did last round, right? I mean, they were able to take their ad last time, even though, Marius was able to get the Uber when they did that last push for the first round. They were able to still win, just in that post fight in the recollapse. So not really recognizing that, it's going to mean that it's a lot harder for them to figure out what they want to do for a sack. Probably just trying to send the other soldiers through 4 or 5. But with a Pudis and a gun protecting the medic, it's going to be a really, really hard challenge if you don't have something like a sniper or a spy to really contend with that.
I think this is gonna be pretty hard for $9 to actually break through. It does look like they're trying to spot for some info, and it is going to be Sant trying to find an angle onto that gun, but the way it's positioned is just not making it easy. These soldiers are going to have to peek out wide from 5 to try and get the proper angle, or they're going to have to peek out from 4, which is right in that sight line. So they're probably going to have to take some very odd angle from 2, which is getting watched pretty aggressively. Well, not anymore, actually. They did have someone here, but not anymore. Not anymore eyes on 2. But as soon as I say that, it goes, I guess Kurodan hears me, and he's going to go back over there. Not even in the lobby yet, though. Interesting.
Yeah, so a little readjustment of the gun. They recognized that it was getting spammed from 4 and just moved it over a few inches, so it really couldn't get spammed as easily without them having to really peek through the doorway. It's going to mean that this is going to be one of the hardest guns ever to figure out, unless someone can figure out the spam from 2. But Bonesy is in 2 right now, so hopefully trying to get that spam down. Is getting challenged by the side of Kurodan right now, so nothing really going to come out of this, and we only have a minute remaining on the round timer, right? I mean, this is the problem with last pushes if you don't have anything figured out, and we'll have to see what their sort of last-ditch effort is here. Maybe taking an exchange into last, trying to get that gun down, playing for the point, something like that. But they really just need to figure something out. But the gun does go down. That might just be the moment where they try to figure something out. They're going to be sending Bonesy through 3. He's going to go for a bomb right now. Instantly denied by the heavy, but he's going to jump up into heaven, looking for Kurodan.
He lands on a Kurodan, takes him to 30. 6 health
he is cleaned up. Monk gets in through 1 and is able to get that as well. A bomb on the other side from Sandbowser is going to go in pretty flat. Going to get denied by the heavy immediately. So a little bit of a squandering of their resources, but still not the worst attempt ever. They're going to have to figure out something now, though, as it's only 25 seconds remaining. You got to attempt something if you want to get something going on, you know, in terms of just getting around on the board. I mean, you already have 1, but 2 just feels even better if in this sort of a slow game that you're playing.
Yeah. I don't know. This is kind of rough for the side of $9. There isn't a lot that they can really do here with this 5 seconds left. Maybe they can get onto the point, but that's 200 seconds of holding on to that Uber. The Uber is going to come out from the side of as well, and it is just it's just going to be a stalemate as nobody is quite able to get into that last in time. So we are going to see a mid reset here. Scoreline still 1-0 in favor of $9, but I mean, hopefully one of these teams can step up their mid-game here. If you're a fan, then, you know, you're hoping for them to be able to get a pretty dominant, explosive mid, get in onto second for free early. But time will tell, as Bonesy does try and get in a little bit quick, but does get denied. Eats a lot of damage for it and is going to have to take some heals away from the rest of his team. But the health for the side of is looking pretty bad as well. Bonesy going to be able to find Lightly Salted on top of Red Crate here, and now it's going to be a bomb attempt coming in from Sandbowser. Does get denied. And
the air shot from Bonesy, absolutely insane. Just catches the flying Kurodan, already going to his death, but she gets style points for that, you know what I mean? So now it's 2 dead, and that's going to be a 1 mid for the side of $9. Complete inverse of the last mid, where they were really just losing on height. Sort of able to bait out that height aggression and then just punish them for that as well. Really, really nice rocket coming out from that. Just, you know, get me hyped up for this match here. But now we already have Bonesy pushing in for the medic. It gets 1 rocket, 2 rockets off, but an amazing... Oh my god! Air shot after air shot. An amazing fight coming out. They're getting clean up Sandbowser as well, so now this is going to be all the space in the world for the rest of question mark. Trying to figure out what they want to do here. There's a lot of stickies and choke that they're going to have to clear out, but you could try to walk the whole team if you're willing to right now, or just go for a sack really quickly. They have some people in sewer. They have the rest of the team in choke. I would love to see them just go for something. On the back end, though, is going to be Mung in IT.
Landing onto the beam. No rockets land, though.
He doesn't die, though.
Able to get away without very much damage coming his way. Does go red for a split second, but is able to find the pack. Now he's here with Pablo, who's going to be able to run directly at Sirius Burb. Does a lot of damage to him, but now is going to be Kurodan and Pablo going down. I think it was a little too slow on the side of, they didn't take their advantage quickly enough. They could have just walked through choke with that Uber, with that player ad, and just, you know, forcefully take that mid without even having to use, or if they had to, they could take an exchange, but doesn't look like that was going to be the plan. It's going to be a bomb coming in from Bonesy, landing on top of the beam, gets a nice rocket, and now it's going to be Sirius Burb, I believe, trying to get in, but the force does come out as overpaid Rice Farmer is able to land some nice rockets, does take down Bonesy, and now the exchange coming out. Uber looking a little bit, actually, I thought it was looking better, but I guess not. Both popped at about the exact same time, I suppose.
Pablo taking a one-on-one with Mung and IT as well at the same time, but Mung is going to come out with that, and Kurodan on the back end going for that little bit of a med salvage is not able to find it, gets body blocked by like 3 players. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they took that exchange, or had to take that exchange, mind you, but from the force, and they just had 3 people sort of retreat to last, means that there's no chance of them ever being able to fight on second. And now there's kill after kill right now. 2 kills back,
in heaven.
They are able to get the blue medic, but now it's just 2 people up. It's just going to be the pyro left, having to clutch up. Not able to do it, and the scout just sort of counters the pyro, but yeah, good exchange. So now that's 2 points for $9 with 11 minutes remaining in the match. It feels good to be them right now, right? I mean, they had a little bit of a rough start on that second round, and they really slowed down for them. They weren't able to figure out what they wanted to do going into last, but now able to put the pieces together on the back of Bonesy, and these forces is just monumental for them. And now rolling out into first mid, D extremely fast. Is able to get a lot of stickies down on the pack, denying so much space. Bonesy going to be bombing under the demo extremely early on, chooses not to extend it all the way. They have so much height control, though. They're already on the blue crate, shooting people down and choke, and there's no space for the rest of question mark right now. They don't have much to do. It's going to be Bonesy bombing in again, going for the rebomb, isn't immediately denied. So now 3 picks down, actually. A little bit of over-aggression from the side of $9. They looked like they had so much space to work with, but, you know, trying to get more than what they could bargain for means that Kurodan and Sue are getting another one as well. So Mung down super late, and 3 down. This could be the opportunity for question mark, if they have the wherewithal to recognize it, just to walk it into second for free. They don't really have to worry about going for sacks or anything like that if they're willing to just run this through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't have to fear this here. They have spawners that are very, very slow. It looks like D is getting absolutely obliterated in the back line here, as it looks like Pablo beefs the last couple shots needed.
Bomb coming in, though.
That Rap Assassin bomb does come out, but Rice Farmer's not quite able to get anything. I guess they wanted to go for some kind of sack instead of just taking, second, which...
It's
May
an
not
option.
have been the best play, but it is an option as we do see Bonesy trying to land it. Does get taken
misses
down
the
by Lightly
pack.
Salted. Does miss, unfortunately,
Ew.
for the side of $9. But it's a scout running straight on to Marius. Serious Bourbon is going to be able to find him with the help of Mung D. Going to be able to find Lightly Salted as well. Now they're just jumping into second. It's going to be so much damage coming on to Zara. Zara's going to go down. Serious Burb. Ooh, Sant Bowser and D all going to be taken down here, though.
The backside, yeah, it's Pablo gets taken down by the bow, but he is able to get the person that's protecting the medic right now. So if Overpaid and Kuroden are able to get on this medic, they're going to get one rocket, two rocket, and then force. And there's nobody there to continue the Uber right now. Just Bonesy rolling out. We'll have to see if he tries to do anything right now, but it's going to be super hard as they choose to retreat to second. So at least evening out the Ubers after that sort of catastrophic med drop, and also big commendation to the players on question mark. Even with their med being dropped and no Uber to work with, they're winning their 1v1s right now, and they're holding on to mid very, very handily because of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was just a good read from the side of, you know, they had the opportunity to get in, and they realized that. I think they realized they had messed up their opportunity on second, so they were looking for something to kind of make up for that, and they absolutely found it. Being able to get those picks in that back line, just absolutely decimating the side of $9. And this is going to give them their kind of second win. This is going to give them their second chance to take this into second, although they kind of sat on it for too long, and it does even out. So they are going to have to use, or sorry, not use, they're going to have to set up a sack as they
yeah, Rice tries to go for it, but you know, there's really no pressure coming from the rest of the team. They're all just sort of bunched up and choke right now. Nobody really trying to push IT. Nobody really trying to get their team into sewer or anything like that. Maybe a little bit of a misstep right now is now they're just having to sort of cower in their choke and just wait for one person to step up and make some sort of play. Kurodan looking for the soldiers in IT. There might be a little bit of a duel going on, but sort of just feeling each other out right now. Lots of people in through as well to choke, but the bomb coming in from Overpaid Rice Farmer, not able to find anything. Still a good attempt. I like the pressure that they're putting on now at this point. Now they just really, really need to worry about the Bonesy bomb going in super deep and super fast. One rocket. Oh, now look at the second, but really, really nice jump from him. I love to see it, especially at this level. You don't expect that sort of you know, adeptness with just the rocket jumps overall, but you know, Bonesy has been on it in terms of just these sacks. He has been instant with the counter aggression. So still a good attempt nonetheless. We are down to a minute on the round timer. You really don't want to see this reset or anything, but they got to figure out something, right? They're finally bringing the combo into sewer right now, going for that sort of pressure. I love to see this right now. And now we have Kurode going in for a bomb, not able to get too high. He's going to be taking out the pickaxe in sort of a failure moment, but now it's you know, it's a little bit better, but we need to figure out these soldier bombs if we're going to get anything on to Bobman.
Yeah, if wants any chance of getting something in onto Bobman here, they need to think fast. They do lose Kuro here, but they do have enough time to maybe get one more, where at this point you kind of have to think about, do I want to take an exchange or do I want to give mid? And now you lose Lightly Salted, you're down a scout, you have IT pretty much left wide open, you have nobody looking at IT, and that's going to be Bonesy Bomb again from behind. He's able to get the drop, and it's nuclear! He finds two inside the
time as well. It's not going to reset.
Oh my goodness.
No way! Kurodan on the last rocket is able to drop down Bobman. I can't believe that he actually got that off. So drop to drop right now, going ban for ban on this mid right now. It's still going to mean that $9 has all of the players to take control of second right now, so it's going to be a question mark in a pretty familiar position, building up this gun right now, just trying to hold out time. Only 6 minutes remaining though, so they're going to need to figure out something. As you have to remember, this is not banning config, this is scrim config. The match is going to end in 6 minutes. So they need to figure out something if they're going to want to get some rounds on the board, or just even it up to 2 for you know, a possible overtime scenario right now. I mean, that drop does help, it slows them down a little bit, but you can't be slow right now. You've got to figure something out.
Yeah, you absolutely don't really have time to, you know, be slow, especially if you're on the side of, you have to think of something to do to maybe try and bait in $9 or maybe get them to use early. You really want them to lose that foothold they have on second. Maybe you can come up sniper, especially with Bonesy down here. It might be worthwhile to come up on sniper, try and get in through spy,
you know?
Yeah, even through spy. You gotta have something, yeah.
Gotta, right? I mean, the time is ticking. We're less than 6 minutes now, down to 5:43 right now in terms of match time. So if they're just gonna roll over and die like this, it's gonna be very, very hard for me to see them get 2 more rounds. Even if they do reset this, they're gonna play perfect if they go for the rounds reset right now.
Absolutely. If they want this round reset, they have to mid to last on 3 mids here pretty much. Otherwise, they're going to have to go to that golden cap, which is
Yeah.
essentially the scrim config version of the infinite overtime round decrease for some of you who maybe haven't played with the scrim config before. But it does look like Mung wants to spot through one, but they're not quite able to find anything. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I don't know what the strategy for $9 is. I mean, to be fair, they don't really have to push. They could sit here in lobby the entire time, park the bus, and just bully them from far away, and make it so that they don't have to really worry about anything really going wrong. So I don't know.
It's looking like a reset to me, Eki. I don't know what the real play is. We saw last time that $9 was really struggling with trying to figure out what sort of play they want to get, and now with the same setup before with this gun and the Putis, we're probably going to be looking at a round reset, which there is still a chance for Question Mark to make a play and really vie for 2 more rounds here if they're able to figure something out quickly. They're going to need to figure out these pushes if it comes down to a round reset, but I would love to see them figure something out right now and just have more time to work with.
Absolutely.
Bonesy,
I mean, they don't have a lot of time to really make a decision now. They're running out much quicker than I think they realize. It does look like the gun does go down here as Zara is able to, Sant is able to find it. Sant Bowser is going to go down here as Siyo jump scares the entire Twitch chat. And I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on really in the thought process of $9. There's 60 seconds left here. They've only got a minute. D does find that sentry, but it is going to be Rice Farmer getting in from behind, almost takes him down, but doesn't quite find the pick onto D there. 45 seconds now left until this round does reset. They might go for the exchange into them. I'm not sure. Hopefully they'll be able to find something off of it if you are a $9 fan. But if you're a fan right now, this is kind of it's not looking great, but there is still very much
there is a chance. There is definitely a chance. Yeah, I mean, if they can get a really dominant mid, they've done it before. If they can figure something out, if it comes down to a round reset, then there is still definitely a chance right now. They just need to really hold on for just feel a little bit longer, not let this time go down. There is the exchange coming out right now, and a one for one trade right now.
It's such a better Uber for
Such a better Uber. Unless they're able to get a lot of these kills on the side, but they do have the Soldier in Heaven right now. It's going to be Bonesy raining down hell.
Mung is in Heaven as well. Serious Burp gets arrowed from across the map. Mung tries to go in, but gets taken down. The Heavy's dead on the point. Everybody's dead on the side of It's just the Mad. He's not quite able to get anything, and $9 is able to just barely squeeze out that round. Those players in Heaven just doing so much damage, taking that last second exchange into the point, I guess catching off guard a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
That is going to set them. I mean, they're pretty much set here. I don't think it's possible to get 3 rounds in 2 minutes 20, but maybe, just maybe, we can see a round or two come out from the side of if they're able to.
You can't get lazy though. It doesn't matter for seeding at the end of the day how many rounds win, or so if you're getting into the second day is if you're getting your 2 map wins on this day 1, but you still really want to focus up right now as they are duking it out on mid. One for one soldier trade right now. A lot of more height control and space control for the side of $9. But Kurodan able to get what he needs. Nice bow coming out from Bombman, able to find the scout and Pablo. So now it's just going to be no scouts really able to help out the medic except for Lightly Salted, who's going to get immediately melted by the bomb into the pipe right now, and it's going to be Marius running for his life.
Behind, but does get flick piped by D, unfortunately.
Marius in the weirdest position right now. It caught an IT, sees the demo man, and is just sort of chilling there right now. They don't really know where he is, but
Marius is just out. He's gone. He's out through one. He's
he fights Pablo. They're gonna get out.
Pablo's going into fight. A little bit of lag. I thought we had a pause on our hands for a second, but no, not quite. It does look like we're going to be seeing $9 capture a second here. Maybe can hold on to last for this next minute and prevent a 4-0 loss and keep it 3-0. They at least know their last holds are pretty strong. They just have a couple super minor things to look into, and just I think their timings is a little bit I think that's their biggest issue here, but they definitely are able to hold this last. They can prevent it from going, and I think in their next match they're going to fare
Oh,
pretty
the
well.
pipe from
But oh my goodness,
downtown.
D hit with that Hail Mary pipe through one, hits him with the kaboom taunt and everything. 30 seconds left on the clock. I think right now we could just see $9 park the bus and decide, they're going to kick their feet up and
You know
relax.
what? We got 3. We're happy with that, right? I mean, it's 25 seconds remaining, but they're going to go
Wait
for
a minute, they're
something.
coming in for one.
Give us some
comes
entertainment.
out.
They pop in. They're going to get the gun down immediately. Pyro's still to contend with right now. They're going to count the Uber. The Uber's going to be way better for question mark, but we've seen this story before. We've seen how they've crumbled when they're not really keeping account of
They're
anybody.
not clearing heaven, though.
Yeah,
Bonzi's going to be able to find Rice Farmer. He's going to be jumping onto the point here. The Pyro is still there. Medic up in top right heaven as well. Not quite able to find Bonesy, but it doesn't matter because of the time. And it does look like is going to be able to hold on to that last and prevent it from being a 4-0 loss. But $9 is going to walk away from that match on process as the victor with a nice 3-0 win under their belt.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the logs for this one. Obviously, some definite pop-off plays. I mean, the first star player that I can see right now is Bonesy. Just the bombs from him were immaculate. Looking like a jump player who's just sort of found his way into comp just now, which is surprising to me, right? But still looked pretty solid for the side of question mark. I don't doubt that they're probably going to be able to get a map or two off of their next 2 teams. They're looking pretty solid themselves. Definitely a little bit lacking in the sort of coordination with the pushes and a little bit of the timing, but the DM was there. I also just really want to highlight the Blue Scouts as well. Mung and Sirius Burb did a lot of work themselves on these last pushes and on the mids themselves as well. They were able to get the denies that they needed to. They were able to fight it out in terms of just like playing these post Uber scenarios where they're just winning their 1v1s over and over and over again. And it's really just how they converted 2 of these rounds. So yeah, definitely big shout out to them right now. Would have loved to see a little bit more of on the coordination front, but I'm still seeing a lot of promise just in terms of raw mechanics from both of these teams.
Absolutely. I mean, with Bonesy doing the same things they were doing every single match, I think $9 has a pretty solid structure right now and potentially a pretty clear path to maybe taking home all games today as dubs. Now, no guarantee, of course, but it is very possible that if they continue playing the way they were on this process game on every other map, we're probably going to see $9 throughout the entirety of tomorrow.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all, right? I mean, they're looking extremely promising right now. Obviously, you can't judge everything to the map. We have 2 completely new maps that all these players had to learn to be fully accommodated with the whole map pool. But just from what we saw alone, there's definitely a lot of prowess here. Another thing to highlight as well is Bobman dropped only 2 deaths that entire match as well, which obviously shows a lot of the medic skill. He had some great service out from the bombs, but also shows a little bit more coordination on their side. The fact that they have enough structure to be able to deny a lot of these players. Just amazing to see. But we will have to see who we are getting in the ring right now for Goalie Wash. I'm really excited to actually see some Goalie Wash action. I don't think we've actually done Goalie Wash before in Newbie Cups in like the last 4 that I've participated in casting, but should be pretty interesting as it's a very, very different 5CP map to process other than just outside of just the mids and stuff like that. Just the way that you push into each one of these points, the second, the last, very, very different setups than the wide openness of process, which is why people usually love this map. So it's probably going to come down a lot more to preparedness, how good people are in these situations, communicating with their team where they're not necessarily in sight of everybody that they are trying to work around.
And I think something to note on Gully is that we're going to see a lot more soldier pop-offs, I think, especially on these mids. Everybody says that Gully Wash is a soldier mid, a soldier map in general. You can see that if you look at something like second, it's just so open. It is so incredibly open and just large that soldiers, if they're not checked, they can get away with a unnecessary number of just devious antics, and they can be pretty sharp thorns in your side if you are not careful about clearing things and checking hiding spots and just making sure that you are absolutely confident with what you want to do, because even one straggler can completely ruin a hold or a push. Um, but I mean, Gully Wash is going to be interesting. Like you said, in the last 4 cups, I don't remember ever having Gully Wash. It was always processed snake and bagel.
Hmm.
So seeing Gully Wash here for the ninth cup is definitely a nice, refreshing change of pace, and it is going to teach some of these players a little bit more about dealing with hiders and forcing them into clearing corners, really ingraining some of those core skills that I think maps like Process and Snakewater, you can learn it, but they're not as applicable as something like Gully Wash.
Definitely. Yeah, okay, if there's one thing I can critique, why are they giving us the maps with the hardest last holds to break, man? We're going from Snakewater to Gully Wash, right? I mean, I definitely test the metal of these teams because, you have to figure out something if you're really going to convert any rounds that aren't just like super dominant mids or anything like that. Um, but man, is it really going to slow down the game in terms of a lot of people just sort of beating their heads against the wall trying to crack the nut that is Goalie Wash last or is Snakewater last, as we saw in the past Navy Cups and stuff like that. Um, that's just a micro thing, but still, I'm very very excited for these mids and the second pushes as well. There's so much explosive stuff that usually happens on Goalie Wash. Maybe some people sending to some behind plays into lobby and stuff like that, but yeah, I am just overall very excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this upcoming Gully match, and especially like you said, the some sorry, like I said, the hiding spots, drop down is going to be something that's going to be really really interesting to take a look at. I feel like some of these players might not realize just how powerful drop down is, so we might not see some of them utilize it, or we might see them completely overlook it. And if they overlook it, whoever decides they want to make some kind of drop down play is going to have a lot of free reign to kind of just go wherever they please and do whatever they want. Hopefully the teams don't get too decimated by drop down tech, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like fool me once, shame on me, or fool me once, shame on you, but fool me twice, stuff like that. You can only really die to that drop down stuff once, and if they don't start, catching on, if it does get used against them, then it's going to be a bit of a rough map to watch some of these teams play. But I am confident in assuming that they're all going to be able to deal with drop down if it does happen to them, or hopefully their coaches have gone over Gully with them and like have warned them of all the rat positions, and
Yeah.
they're aware enough of being able to clear drop down, and especially knowing how to play around someone who goes into your drop down. I've seen a lot of newer players, they blank a lot when they hear someone's in drop down because they think all of them kind of have to turn around to try and shoot him or deny him, when in reality you only have to send back like one person, like a soldier or something, just has to look at it and shoot rockets at it as he jumps up, and then you get your free kill, and then you can go on through your mid. But I
I think
guess.
it's interesting that you bring that up as well because I was helping out doing some coaching and stuff like that. And there's a few remedies to really dealing with the drop down sort of thing, right? I mean, with drop down, you have a few options. You can have someone just when they hear that something is going up drop down, just turn around for it. Or you can, on the other hand, just have a soldier that plays sort of in big door early on who is able to bomb, but is also just watching the ground, making sure that nothing goes up your big door or trying to fight the guy that's on the ground as well, right? So
Mhm.
I think it'll actually be pretty apparent just how teams sort of choose to play Gully Wash of what the coaching really was for these teams and how adept the coaches themselves were. Which is just a pretty interesting concept, right? I mean, usually when we're looking at these teams, you're just expecting to see one highlight player who's really just above the rest and is doing all of the work that they need to do. Um, but at the other hand, you have to remember that it's just how well these guys are prepared as well. If they're going to be facing something that they're completely unaware of or not able to deal with, their coaches haven't let them know, then they're just going to be completely blindsided. Um, but yeah, I don't
Mhm.
know. I will have to see what the preparedness is like for both these teams. We're still trying to figure out who we are casting next. Um, as matches are wrapping up for round one, we want to make sure that we get all those scores in so we can seed it properly and all that jazz. But
Mhm.
um,
I
yeah,
mean, I
I
guess.
think we can go for a little short break. If that sounds good to you.
I mean, I'm good for a break.
Alrighty, so yeah, we'll go on a short break right now. Be back momentarily as soon as we figure out who our next match is against. Feel free to go get some some hot beverages, a little snack, whatever you guys need to get comfy watching this tonight. As we get all these rest of these map scores in, and then we will be back momentarily with more Newbie Cup action.
Let's go! Giddy up! Give them hell, boys! Come on! I am full of sandwich, and I am coming for you! Can you use a shovel for that? Hey, to get water! Oh, God, I wanted you to live. You would not have created me. Keep it outside. I am the Ubermensch. Let's go. March you. Let's go. Come on, move it up. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push. With that. And you call the charge, head doctor. Yes, do it. Very well. I'm coming for you! Imagine if I hadn't been through. To the left, go right. Don't run! It's just I the way to do it! Hey, everyone, look at me! Roger that! I am heavy. Scout is very good.
All right, let's get him. Bang! I make it look easy. Hey, look at me, Ma. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it.
I think here the boy does nothing. Yes, they're pointing the light. Feeling these little time was hurting. What's this not? The heavy is a spy. Left, incoming. Excuse, beast is on this team. Would you like a second opinion? You are all so
Listen
ugly.
to me, lady. No, no, no. You are no match for me. No, 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 no. I am heavy weapons guy. No, no, no. Did you think you could beat me? No, no, no. Not a big surprise. Sangre me going to beat your ass. Guys, more! You mean nothing now. Your luck has run out. Now it's time to touch your gun. I'm only going to touch your gun. It's full-time job to touch your gun. It's very good to touch your gun. No, no, no. No. No, no, no. I am very happy. No, no, no. Medic, you are giant.
Doctor, comrade.
No. Get behind me, doctor. No, no, no. We'll have good time. No, no, no. Put dispenser here. What sick man send babies to fight me? I feel alive. You're a great doctor.
Thank you.
I love this doctor. And now I'm going to touch your gun. I just want to touch your gun. Oh, it's full-time job to touch your gun. It feels so good to touch.
Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Light was old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, going like the breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, not too far, take me home. Country roads, I hear a voice in the morning, now she calls me. The radio Here's the story about a little guy that lives in the blue world.
Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, ooh, didn't mean to make you cry. And if I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, as if nothing really matters.
You can never know what it's like. You got a lot when a creature just like us. And there's a photo of the light that shines from you. You what about the red you find behind that mask you use? And did you think the fool will ever win? Well, look at me, I'm coming back to death. I got a taste of love and a simple wit. And if you need to know what I'm standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing?
I mean, I drive through America. Can I get up? Bubble to the where I am? They did the so I can get a drink. No, I'm not finished, that's not everything. Can I please get a double waffle with no cheese? Can I please get a number 2 with a all drink? I got money, so I don't care how much it costs me. So just throw in some extra fries, don't make them salty. All the cheese gonna make my booty drip, drip. I'm lactose intolerant, I don't sip, look. If I see a side of cheese, I'ma trip, trip. I'ma sit on your toilet seat and do. So you got my little waffle junior, I didn't forget that. And you got my double waffle, I didn't forget that. What about the iron ring? Hold on, you can sit back. Breaky, they know me now, cheese, I don't want that. And I'm getting hungry now, I know you heard that. Waiting for my iron ring so I don't have to turn back. Breaky, don't play with me, and that's just so trash. Stuck in shit like rabbit nipples while I eat this shirt. That better stop playing and just give me all of my food. You can I pay right now or leave the drive through. Give me the bag and then I took a bite of my.
Welcome back, everyone, to Fireside. Me and Ball Gripper still in the booth, going to be coming at you with Gully Wash now, our second round map. Girardi Drinkers versus Hands of Havoc as the Naked Soldier flashes on your screen one final time. Getting straight on into it, I want to go ahead and read off this Girardi Drinkers roster, coached by the man, the myth, the legend, I am 6 syllables. Your medic is going to be Austin 6910. Your demo is going to be Gun Me. Wait.
That's Gummy. That's Gummy. Wait.
Excuse me. Sorry, a little bit of a production mishap here. Reverse those two. Your demo is going to be Austin 6910, and your medic is going to be Gummy. Your pocket scout is going to be Securities Fraud. Your pocket soldier is going to be Casey CLBS. Your flank scout will be Lapis, and your roamer will be Orange Panda 6. Now that's a powerful name.
That's beast. Oh man, I'm so happy to see Gummy back. Gummy was actually on my team that I coached the last newbie cup. I know they didn't have time to really go into an RGL season, so really sick to see them go for a round 2 here. I remember they were like a very, very big highlight player for me, so yeah, looking forward to seeing that. But on the other side of things, Team 15 Hams of Havoc, great team name by the way, I must say, coached by Sir Cloud and Egan Gao, is actually one of the event runners right now, so maybe a little bit of bias from him getting them on stream, but nonetheless, for medic, we have Glass of Grape Juice, not the third, don't get it wrong. Demo, we have Isaac Shoebottom. On Pocket Scout, we have a Butter 2244. On Pocket Soldier, we have 9 Sekuo. Flank Scout, we have Pizza Hat, great name. And on your roamer is going to be MA78YT.
Interesting little lineup there. I don't think I've heard of many of these plays. The only one I think I recognize is Gummy, so hopefully we'll get to see some pretty good pop-off plays from both teams here, I guess. If Gummy is a good pop-off from your experience, then I'm looking forward to this here Gully Wash match. I guess before we go into this, though, I would like to mention that this here stream is sponsored by Liquid.tf. It is the premier marketplace for buying cheap unusuals. You can get that stuff up to 80% off, and it is a proud sponsor of this here cup. Type !Liquid.tf to get a link to their Discord. And additionally, because of Liquid TF, this is going to be the first newbie cup to have medals. Each team that I think gets top 3, or it might just be the top one. I forget the specifics of it. I think it's the top 3, though. Everybody gets a medal. Oh, okay. No, I stand corrected. Everybody gets a newbie cup medal this time around, thanks to Liquid TF. So every one of them is going to get medals. Click that link if you mess with Bong Gripper, as they say. If you're a real Bong Gripper fan, you will go to the Liquid TF Discord.
Truly.
But yeah, that's That's the sponsor again, Liquid TF, exclamation point Liquid TF in chat to get the Discord link and to use their site. But yeah, I mean, going into this Gully Wash, definitely a change of pace, especially for maybe some of these returning players. Gummy, I'm not sure how many players in this cup are returners, but I know some of these people may not be so used to seeing Gully Wash. Like we mentioned earlier, the core rotation for the last 4 cups has been Process, Snake, and Bagel. So hopefully trying to figure out how Gully Wash works isn't too big of a task for them, or at least wasn't. As I say that, we are going to be going live here on our first round of Gully Wash.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really excited to see what these teams have prepared. I'm definitely going to be highlighting, a lot of these going on. If there's going to be teams trying to do sort of drop-down plays early on, trying to set the tone with something quick like that. But now rolling out onto mid, we have actually exactly what I'm looking for. Orange Panda going up, drop-down, immediately. Super quick with it as well. They didn't spot him as well. He's going to be giving the entire blue team back shots right now. Going to get a bunch of damage, not taking down himself, but that gives so much space for the rest of red team to walk across point right now. Just the space made for him is going to mean that, Austin is going to find so much done with the sticky bombs. And it's going to be the rest of blue team trying to escape. Butter does get a kill on the way out, is able to get something back in return, but and another as well. He's actually beasting up right now. Going to be rail bombing in. Oh, a little bit bad from Handman, but Butter gets 3 in return. Is going to mean that it's a little bit harder for red team to convert any sort of round off of this, but still amazing play. Just getting up that drop down really, really early on. This gave him so much space to work with, and that's a way to set the tone if you're going into Gully Wash, right? I love doing that early on, as it now the rest of Girardi drinkers, they just have to constantly expect that they're going to be looking at that drop down, maybe not looking across as much. Gives them a lot of space to work with on these mids. They're going to find Pizza Hat. Not doing the best there, but Hangman does get back. They use the Uber in, jumping into top left, getting a scout into water right now. He's going to be taken down by Hangman, but this Uber is still a little bit better for the red team, but the player advantage is not. They have so many people up on the side of Hams of Havoc. It's just going to be people duking it out as Rayo just looking for anything that he can get. A little bit of a bow on the way out from Gummy is going to find 1 pick back, but that's not nearly what you need to make that last push work.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate set of circumstances there. I think the idea was definitely sound. They wanted to go fast, and they tried, but just a little bit of a botch getting stuffed inside of that tiny little doorway. But look at this. It's going to be Class of Grape Juice going down, not the third. Is going to be going down there as Isaac also is taken down by Katrina. That's a little 2K right there. That's going to be 2 players down for the side. Now 3 players down for the side of Hams here, and they are losing. They're dropping like flies here. It's just one man standing. It's going to be Siyo trying to find his way to the point, but it is just not going to work. And that is going to be the first round in the hands of Girardi drinkers right off of the bat, actually. Hardly even 2.5 minutes in, pretty much. And we have made, or sorry, I guess 3 minutes in, I suppose. Hardly even. And we're already seeing a round get converted here, so definitely setting the tone and getting that drop-down play up really fast definitely is going to have them guessing for this one. As the soldier does come in fast, it's going to be Orange Panda finding Isaac early. Skoyo going to be able to trade out with him, but they're going to have to leave early as they drop Butter as well. They're not able to do anything here as they're getting pushed from elbow. They do find Katrina here. Pizza Hat is going to be able to take him down, but it's so much damage coming in from Rayo. They take down Pizza Hat now, and glass of orange juice, not the third, is grape juice, not orange juice. Orange juice is just so much better than grape juice, but it's going to get taken down by Securities Fraud, and now Skoyo going to get taken down as well. This is just not looking good for Hams right now. They really got to change something up, and it's going to be Hamman trying to contest Austin here in the choke, but is going to get hit with that Hail Mary pipe, and that's going to be pretty late respawn. Now Isaac down 2, sharing that respawn time with Hamman. That's going to be Hams down 2 players on this last at full Uber disad. This is just unfortunate for the side of Hams here. They don't even have a chance to really set up a defense that'll work.
This is dire.
To the best of their
they just have to figure something out. They're getting completely mulched on these mids, and now with a dominant in on us, they're not finding any kills early. Austin again damage, is able to get one down extremely early on, Isaac to follow as well. Now the rest of Hams is just going to have to cower onto point trying to stop anything, but they're not going to get it done. And these mids are just so explosive from the red soldiers right now. Either going up drop down or just sending 2 soldiers on their side is giving so much space, and Austin is just feasting because of it right now. He's just walking forward, getting all of these fat sticky damage. His scouts are cleaning it up for him amazingly right now. Gummy isn't in any bit of trouble right now, so a quick 2 rounds to start us off is just exactly what you want on Goalie Watch, which is generally a slower map if it comes down to stalemates. Again, we see the red soldier up on their side, going to be contending with Pizza Hut right now, and Rayo to follow. They're not going to find a kill early on, but
do find
Security Squad is
Ham
going to find Ham Man, I believe, on the ground, trying to go for something himself, trying to get some aggression going. But nothing really going to come out of it. Orange Panda taking extremely low, but Security Squad again finds a second right now.
He's going up
Rayo
drop down.
Forward.
He's got 2 HP.
Not
He
able to
takes
get up, though.
himself out.
Does he kill himself on the drop down? I thought he died to a sticky trap, but they're able to find glass of grape juice in the back end of it, and the speed and the aggression from the red team is just perfect right now. They lost a few in the process, right? I mean, they weren't able to find the picks that they wanted to extremely early on with those soldier bombs, but so much space made means that on a tight and close mid like Goalie Wash that you are just going to be winning it handedly.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can really do here. As Hams, I mean, you're down that Uber again. It's just, this is not an ideal situation. I mean, you kind of, at this point, are hoping to maybe have some kind of NG, which they don't have. You know, they had a little bit of time to maybe get a gun up to level 2, but they didn't take it. Now that Uber's going to get popped onto Austin, who's going to be jumping forward, is going to try and hit that Hail Mary pipe onto Grape Juice.
Does Pyro deny? He's at 1 HP. He has not died. They denied the whole Uber left.
Yeah, that Pyro was just able to stuff the Uber the entire time. They do drop 3 players on both teams now, so it is entirely possible that Girardi Drinkers is able to come in, but with Gummy getting knocked down to such low HP, there's absolutely 0 chance. Maybe dies to Rollers, but not quite, as they are able to just barely reach that pack, and now it's going to be Security's Fraud bullying out Isaac, and I don't think they know about Rayo, who's hiding inside a secret. They do clear him, though.
Oh, they find him.
Does almost get Reflect killed. Cleo doesn't turn around, and almost lets his med die. But thankfully, the other players were there to notice he was coming out of secret. Maybe a little bit of a comms mix-up or like a call-out mix-up. But Met does survive on the side of Hams. Girardi Drinkers, excuse me. Oh, you got to take over. I got to cough.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, they have an advantage right now. They can work out with it. They are going to get the Uber off, just popping through on the demo. Not really bombing him in too deep, but now they're just trying to get out. There is a lot of dueling going on. Rayo fighting Baby towards last, but they still have the heavy on point right now for the back cap, but still this looks very dire. They're not really able to get too much off of this Uber if you're on the Hams right now. They are just completely falling in this post collapse and losing on the back end of it as well. I mean, they just were not able to hold it down on these flanks. This is going to be Sakuo and Pizza Hat trying to hold it down on point right now, and that's Security's Fraud on a 10k, finally taken down on the flank, but now everybody else is collapsing in. Gummy actually running on the point right now. It's just Butter up
Rayo's
solo.
no HP, but neither does the Beam. Gummy's going to go down, but it doesn't matter. Butter walks off the point.
Oh, that is tragic, man. And that is 3 quick rounds on a map that you generally do not get 3 quick rounds on, right? I mean, it's just looking so rough. Hams has not really had a second to really get their footing on this map from what it feels like. I don't know how you really want to interpret this, but to me it just feels like they need to switch something up fast, as I believe they're trying to do just that as we are going into a pause. I'm imagining a sort of a tactical pause right now, just trying to figure out what they need to do. But yeah, what are you thinking about what you're seeing so far?
I feel like Hams is just struggling to find their footing really anywhere. They show up to those mids and then they get absolutely obliterated. And I feel like they underestimate the amount of time they have to set up a last hold a lot of the time. They have time to maybe get a gun up to level 2, which is kind of all you need, really, to have something work. You don't need it to be level 3 to be able to deny bombs effectively. As long as you can get it up to that level 2 and you have it set up on the left side, it's gonna be pretty effective at stopping the other team from pushing in. I mean, they haven't really had any gun setup. They've just been running Ass Beast Heavy and Pyro to try and stuff those Ubers, but they haven't run Pyro NG at all. They haven't tried to set up a gun and prevent them from spamming it out. It's not even, so they probably won't have to spam it out. They could just take it in, but I still think it would be better for Hams to try and set up that gun. At least, try something before you get to that 4th round mark. Because once you get there, that's kind of the point of no return. You can't afford to mess up another last hold there. You can't afford to get insta-gibbed on mid like that again. If they're not going to be able to whittle them down at the mid, they've got to play around their weaknesses and use them as a strength. So if you have a really good last hold, just wait for them to push into your last, you kill them, and then you can push out onto your 2 for free. And you kind of have to wait till you get all the kills, especially on Gully, because those hiding spots are just so brutal. But it does look like we had a little repause there for a moment, so I think
Maybe
we might.
Technical?
Yeah, I mean, I think this might be a tech, especially if they have to repause there. And as we do see the on stream here, we have the
little homunculus.
Isn't that the Lucky Charm?
Yeah, that's my
Lucky
homunculus.
The homunculus.
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume that it's probably a technical if we're seeing a repause or something like that, but that still does give the perfect amount of time for the Hams to try to figure something out, right? I mean, there's something clearly going wrong where they're just not able to execute their game plan, right? It looked really solid early on. I saw Butter on the first mid just doing a lot of work, getting those trade back kills, even though they had such a little space to work with. But if they're able to figure out how to establish themselves on these midpoints, I could easily see them picking it up, right? They could easily figure something out to swing it back in their favor. I don't know though. It'll remains to be seen though. If it's anything to go off of what we've seen before, this might just be a really quick match once we see the unpause come through.
Yeah, hopefully, for the sake of Hams here, they'll be able to, figure out what the underlying issue is. Again, if there's maybe a tech issue that's holding them back or something.
Here's the unpause though.
Hopefully they'll be able to figure it out. But yeah, we are going back into it. The match is now live yet again. We do have a very fast Austin here trying to get that early damage. Isn't quite going to be able to get anything, but it looks like they're going to take a page out of the book of Girardi Drinkers, but it doesn't really matter as they feed far too hard into that choke. And now it's going to be Grape Juice, not the third, getting taken down by Orange Panda here, as it is just a nuclear mid from the side of Girardi Drinkers. And the jump from Rayo to try and catch off Ham Man while Orange Panda kind of waddles up onto him. I mean, these players are just so well coordinated with one another. They know how to take these fights. They know how to get aggressive. And now Rayo is hiding, ready to get into water at any moment, holding his rocket launcher, in a bit of a strange way. I don't think it's supposed to be held like that. But, I'm sure he'll make it work.
But now back to a very familiar position. Goalie watch last, right? They've been able to crack this extremely well, and they're just taking the Uber again through Shutter, looking for anything that they can get. They're going to find Isaac extremely early on. Pizza Hut is going to find Katrina in the back end of that, though, but they have so many people on point. Everyone's going to have to run on it, and Glass of Grape Juice is the last to stand on it. 4 rounds, just like that. You let it slip through your fingers, and you're not prepared for this goalie wash mid and the aggression that comes with it, then it's going to be the hardest mid that you've ever played.
Absolutely. I mean, 100% agree. There's no other way to really say it. I mean, the 4 rounds in 9 minutes there. Almost got the two mixed up there. 9 rounds in 4 minutes. Oh my goodness. But, 4 rounds in 9 minutes here. I mean, it's not impossible to come back. I think if Ham is able to kind of figure out what the issue is, they might be able. Air shot! Rayo gonna find Grape Juice, not the third there, in retaliation for them taking out one of their players early on. But 3 players do go down on the side of Girardi Drinkers for it. Now they're gonna equalize it as they find Pizza Hat, and they're gonna back out fully here. They don't have their beams, so they don't have the opportunity to really, bully these people. On mid, they kind of have to set up on 2, but they have that opportunity to set up on 2, at least, get a soldier into a hiding spot and have some sticky setup somewhere. But they need to be playing ready to leave. They need to be playing up by Heaven, ready to get out, because right now they don't have that opportunity to set up here. They don't have that. And it looks like they're realizing they need to get up into Heaven pretty quick, but they're not going to be fast enough. And that's going to be Grape Juice Cough on the floor, now getting pinched by the Scout and the Demo. He's going to go down. Now it's going to be Pizza Hat finding Katrina, and now it's going to be Gummy finding a pick onto Ham Man, and Rayo siyo finding butter. It is just Pizza Hat, the last man standing, going all the way to last. And now we have Girardi Drinkers setting up that flank scout cap right up on the top as the rest of them go forward. Gummy isn't climbing though, so it will be a little bit slow, but they can afford this kind of. they can kind of afford this. It will be a bit of an even push into last if they decide to just go for the dry fight. But I think with the DM they've shown, they might just be able to have that work for him, as the beam is playing top left now, top right now, rotating, or at least trying to rotate over to top left. Does look like Hams is struggling to find their footing on this last, figure out what they want to do. That sentry does go down early. They do try and set up that gun, but it just gets spammed out. Not enough eyes on those doorways. And it looks like a lot of the people are just bunched up on the side of Hams. They're eating the same damage. The sentry goes down again. They don't have the pyro to help defend it. With Pizza Hat on heavy, it's really, really hard for Hams to get this gun set up. Looks like they're going to go for the secret gun, but there's not enough time to get this set up. You don't really have the opportunity to get the secret gun, as I guess nobody's really noticing it, though. That level 1 sentry is doing God's work here. It's going to be Sequoia on the point, trying to find something. Does find the one, the sentry trying, but it doesn't matter.
Man.
Wait, the little one gets him! But they're not quite able to take it down in time, and that is going to be a swift, about 11-minute 30, 5-0 for the side of Girardi Drinkers, unfortunately for Hams. But hopefully, they can have something work out for them in their next upcoming match on Bagel.
Yeah, I mean, you really need to have hope right now. That was, it's hard to really football, especially with people not being so prepared. But that was so dominant that you really have to assess what the heck is going on. Where are we failing in these margins right now? Maybe we're just not prepared for all the plans. Maybe we didn't get coached properly. But you gotta piece something together, right? It's still not lost for either of the House of Hams or Hams of Havoc, excuse me. But you gotta piece it together quick, as you're gonna be swapping over to a completely different game mode. So I would love to see them sort of clean some gameplay up right now. I saw some promise early on, but just not able to contend with the speed overall made it so difficult for them.
Yeah, and I think something that just kind of shows how fast they were going is, the logs aren't going to tell us much of anything of note here, besides like, wow, look at this guy's DPM, but
I'm super down with going to another match right now. I think that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We'll have to see who it's against. And for the person that wanted us to cast Kavitz, it looks like that one's kind of a roll right now. So we're going to try to find a match that's a little bit more even right now. But yeah, I would still love to see some more goalie wash action, some more unique, slower gameplay where people are trying to crack, each other's defenses and stuff like that. We'll just figure that out real quick if you guys bear with us. I don't know, man. Looking over that last game, though, it's hard to say that wasn't a steamroll. I think it was off of the fact of that securities fraud was just popping off. I think he dropped a 10K in one of those runs.
I think so. I mean, checking out those logs, his KD was 23 and 4.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He was taking a lot of fights and just cleaning up a lot of players, really just doing what a scout is best at doing, and bullying players that are low HP and finding those openings and just weaseling their way into places they shouldn't have been able to do. I think with a team with slightly more coordination, they might be able to make something work there. But does look like we're gonna be moving games over to match rescheduled versus Dingles, still on Gully Wash here. So
this is a lot
assessing the situation here. Yeah, 3-2. Assessing the situation here. Looks like red here. I believe this is Dingles, has just pushed out of their last, successfully able to hold, and we're going to be watching them try and take a mid push with a pyro here. Interestingly enough, looks like they're going to try and get through that. Gets it from Hero, gets a drop on a Mr. Abel, and is able to find that opening for his team. It's going to be the pyro.
Does go down at the back end though. He goes down to 97%, not being able to force out that Uber. I believe is something just flanked behind through Big Door and is able to find him. So amazing drop from the side of Hero, but now they're going to have to slow down a little bit. But it looks like the ultimate Chupcho is not willing to slow down at all. They're already barreling their way into second, and rest of Balls is just having to retreat super early on.
That did not look like a good fight to have taken at the start. You know, seeing that Pyro, I was a little concerned that their fight might go, pear-shaped, but that drop coming in, they just explode out through the choke. They trusted one another, and I think that was kind of what let them get away with that. But it is going to be Mr. Deadass is able to find that sentry placement on last here. He is going to pick it up and try and get some metal back, just trying to make sure his gun doesn't go down since he doesn't have that Pyro safety net to keep it alive now. He is going to be rebuilding it
in water.
So,
interesting. Yeah,
I have never seen this before. Pyro coming up through water for some reason.
And that's why you don't build it there.
Pyro?
That's why you don't build it there. Is because you can just get spam. Someone can run through water and just kill it by peeking it over and over. They do lose the Pyro, so Ubers are evening out. Does give a little bit of a chance for some sort of counter aggression from the side of match rescheduled. There is going to be, a little bit of a lull here as the rest of our team is trying to spam it out, but they're going to be popping in really early as well, looking for anything they can get. But the lure is going to be coming out from Mr. able to flash 1 million players, and they're losing one of their own on the red team, but not really going to be able to find too much else. They are able to get Mr. Able on the back end of that, though, so that's going to be some add if Dada's able to get out unscathed right now, and it looks like he has a Pyro escorting him out. So really nice get from them, able to find something off of possibly not the best Uber in the world, but still really good from them. They're able to stabilize for just a minute. There is some counter aggression though. Mr. Deadass and Mr. Lax already in lobby, and they're able to find Dot. No chance of them being able to protect their medic if you're not watching these doorways or backing up enough, but that is such an amazing find for the rest of match rescheduled. So hopefully, stabilize on last, push out. They are at a round advantage right now with only 8 minutes remaining. So this really does matter right now. You do not want this to go to a 3-3 right now if time is ticking down to the lower amounts right now. I have to imagine that we didn't catch the first half of this match really, but with a round score of 3-2, this must have just been fist fight after fist fight. People not really being fearful of pushing out in either direction. As blue team right now, they have this ad. They have 2 soldiers up in river going for some sort of spam fight right now. They're going to be taking a bunch of damage. Mr. Sukis and Mr. Deadass are going to be taking super low in this early
Mr.
on, but Hero
gets taken down in lobby by Hero. A very nice pick to have.
Yeah, the demo dead. They're going to be peeking forward. They are at disad right now, so they really can't.
Wait a minute, the demos are going to trade here. Mr. Deadass is just able to waddle through lower.
He's still waddling. He's going.
He's the waddle warrior. He's on Dot. He gets Dot and takes down half the HP of the players inside of Shutter. Is going to die for it, but gets so much value from just holding the W button. I mean, W key and win. They share the same letter. W for win, and that's the Pyro trying to WM1 their way up the stairs. Not quite able to find anything, and I think we're noticing now that this is a full-time Pyro team, so there's definitely a lot of interesting strategies that they're probably going to have to play around.
Very Kawa-esque, I might add. But yeah, I mean, they're able to push out now. Hero's still up in river area back. Crazy to see him up there.
Yeah, this is a bit odd, although we do see the Pyro is now changed to Soldier. So no more full-time Pyro. I guess the Pyro is now changed to Scout. So no more full-time Pyro. It's back to Scout for Veka here, but hopefully we'll be able to see some kind of push come out from the side of match rescheduled as we are watching them sit on a 2-player, I guess 1-player ad at the moment. Waiting for them to push in, and now they use through that choke. They are going to be waddling across, not quite able to find anyone just yet, but they do find Pragus here and also Veka as a Scout and a Soldier down, but they do lose Sukis here.
Back cap going on right now. We'll see if this is
Wait a minute, the back cap threat. They don't outcap it. This Scout is going to get it. He's going to run all the way to last.
I think this is a round. Wait a minute.
Here. Maybe Lax is going to be fast enough. No, there's no way.
It's going to be a 1v1. Mr. Tungsten running out of spawn right now. We'll see if he makes it.
It's too fast.
He gets there. It does, but not in time. Oh my gosh. Just the recognition to just go for that second point, and the fact that match rescheduled did not turn around for this. Oh man, it's just a little bit of spaghetti on your screen, right? Not exactly what you want to see if you're on the side of match rescheduled, obviously losing around there, but you got to just shore up those weaknesses and make sure that you're responding to what is happening in the moment right now, right? I mean, you can't just keep holding the gas pedal if you have to worry about stuff like that. On to this mid now, the first mid that we've gotten to watch. Lots of early damage coming out in a 1-for-1 trade, but even more happening right now on the blue side as the rest of Dingles is just able to take so much space on mid, pushing their way into second and forcing them out as well. Hero already through on 2, jumping up into the river area, and that's a free second take as well on top of the mid. No meds dying on either side, so there definitely still is an Uber to worry about. No Uber edge to worry about right now if you're on the side of match reschedule, but definitely not what you're hoping for, just to lose a mid that quickly. And if you're getting exploded that fast, then that means that there's really no chance to hold on to second at all. Oh, Praga is gonna find Mr. Couchy in the river area super early on. Not able to find too much more though, but they're going to be taking this Uber in off of that one pick, getting the demo onto the point, but he's not going to catch the reflash. That's going to be both scouts in water right now and everybody from the blue team on point. A little bit of a scary situation if there's a
soldier. They have a scout in through water, is able to find Sukkis now on top of the point, bullying this heavy. Not enough damage, but the soldier in from Secret gets a lot of, he's getting so much damage. Hero gets 3, he's maybe going to find 4, the demo kills himself. Oh, but it's not quite enough as Kachi is able to find the final shot, taking him down, and does save his team, the unfortunate demise of going 3 and 4. But, man, that was almost rough for the side of match rescheduled as Hero almost made a hero play and won that round for his team, but not quite. Maybe he'll be able to do it again, though, as we watch the entirety of Dingles push back into second. They are going to maintain control over it, and now they're going to be able to retake control of lobby as well. Sentry is set up on last, but they are looking to spam it out. They are doing some early damage to it. Demo, interestingly enough, is going to be the main spammer. Yeah, that gun being picked up here. This is a pretty big window. You have one player basically inside of spawn, and now it's going to be Kachi denied from bullying people inside of river. They are going to move that gun to the right side, but they're not quite able to get this set up, I think, in the position they really want. With no demo as well, it's going to be really hard to hold, but it is even players, as we do still have a player on the side of Dingles.
Wait, this is
actually going
this is ad. They're going to be walking through the shutter, and they're going to take the Uber immediately. Mr. Abel's only at 70% right now, and they're going to be able to probably focus down this heavy on the point. Hero bombing in on the ring. They're fighting so much, and now the rest of the blue team just has to scramble to get on the point right now. They're able to find a lot of picks back. Not really what you want to see from the side of Dingles. I mean, they sent pretty much everybody on point. Nobody on the height really to shoot the players that are going to have to contend with being on the point. But still able to take that Uber ad.
Oh my goodness.
Nice little 1v1 win from Cubchu, who despite all odds is able to pull that out. Actually nuts, a little 1v1 from him, and he's going for more. He's spotted out, he's taken down to 1 HP, but he's still living up in the river area right now, so still keeping the gas.
1 HP in a dream.
Still keeping the pressure on right now as he is in the enemy team's lobby looking for something. There's a soldier on last, so no real backup attempt, but he is in the water area. I don't really know what his goal is right now, as he really can't cap the last point, but looking for something. Running up against the soldier right now is going to take the 1v1. In river is going to find it, but on the back end of things, back onto second right now, we have more attempts going on. Hero looking for a hero play, looking for that bomb, trying to get the super force out. It's a little bit scary right now if you're on the red team, right? They're having to poke through choke to try to support their players right now, but there is Uber ad they have to contend with.
That scout is still on last as well, so right now, Dingles is down 2 players essentially, and that is a very free window for match reschedule to try and push forward. They do find that scout behind them. They do drop lax for it, though, as the entire team turns around for some reason to look at it, and it is only going to be him watching, but they do lose Veka as well, so that's going to be 2 players down again. 1 player ad for the side of match rescheduled here, so they do have an opportunity, and they do have a Mr. Deadass coming in from drop down, is going to be under the point, jumping up now, landing onto Progress, is going to be able to find him, and now Cubchu coming through the red choke as well. And it's going to be Mr. Deadass getting a good bit of damage onto that demo. Nice rockets. It's going to be Gervin going down as Kachi cleans him up. Deadass is finally going to get taken down, but that Uber does come out from the side of match rescheduled. They're going to be trying to walk through the choke here. It is so much worse for them as we watch Dingles push through the choke with their own Uber, but it does fade now, and now we are going to have to watch this post-Uber fight where match rescheduled has already dropped 3 players. I'm not sure they're really going to be able to do anything. Mr. Abel getting dropped here as well, and now it's salvage o'clock for anyone that is alive. It's Lax going to be able to find Hero, but is probably going to get taken down by this scout here. Just 1 pellet, and yep, Cubchu is going to be able to take him down. And this is going to be another instance of excuse me, match rescheduled, holding last here. But there are only 20 seconds left in the match. If neither team is able to score here, we're going to go to the golden cap. So
they got to watch the time right now. It's 15 seconds remaining. They're not going to get this Uber before time runs out, so they're going to have to go for something if they're aware of this. Otherwise, this is just going to go to a golden cap right now.
They have to go for something now. They need cap time, but I think they're going to let it go to the golden cap as the timer runs out. It's 3-3, and now the tiebreaker comes in. I'm not sure what we're going to see here because, well, actually, are they doing tiebreakers or are they...
Wait, this is just a tie.
Wait.
Eki, we just saw...
When did they stop doing gold cap?
I guess we're not doing that for group stage is what I'm being informed of. I was completely under the assumption that we do here, but...
Shucks, back when I played, we had that golden cap
back
rule
in my
everywhere.
day. Yeah, I'm not too sure right now. To make sure.
I guess we'll find out here in a little bit if we see them go live again, then we'll know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but for now, that was an extremely close match. Obviously we didn't get to catch the first half of it, but it really just felt like both of these teams were just willing to do whatever they needed to do to make any sort of anything happen, which is major when it comes to goalie wash, right? People are usually way too scared to make any sort of plays happen. Just from the safety of how easy it is to hold each one of these points. But both of these teams showed a lot of prowess with just having quick plays, trying to get something going. Hero popping off as well, just making these plays happen from at least what we saw in the later half of the match. Just getting any sort of plays going on goalie wash is exactly what you want to see.
Mm-hmm. I think the pyro theory that we saw them running on the side of I believe this is Dingles was pretty interesting. I guess we got in there while they had just swapped because Vega had 5.5 minutes worth of pyro playtime, so they were trying something out there. I guess maybe they just didn't die enough to be able to swap off for a little while. It did look like they were kind of just like steamrolling in the lobby and then struggling to get into last. So that was is an interesting game, but I think them swapping back to Scout, they get that extra win. They're able to tie it up. So I mean, kudos to them. I think. I don't know. I mean, it's just we got in so late, we didn't get to see what the habits or anything were. So,
yeah, or just how these mids developed or anything. That's kind of the problem with it. But still a very interesting match to get the latter half of as well. I'm going to try to look for these logs right now because I'm curious if that tells us more of the story of what really went on here.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, you
both soldiers. Yeah, I can send them to you right here. Let me just put these in our super secret caster chat.
But nobody knows about.
Yeah, nobody ever knows about except for all of the super secret caster people. But looking at it from the DPM side of things, you see Progress here. He's 10, 5, and 23, but this dude has 10k damage. This dude's got 349 DPM.
How does that work out? How do you drop?
I'm assuming they're just. Well, we watched one of his bombs as he came in. He's getting a lot of value from his splash. He's not going for these like crazy, stupid directs. He's getting a lot of damage just across the board. He's not really. He's just doing what a soldier should do. He's spamming choke points and he's preventing people from getting in when he can. Whenever they're trying to get in, wherever he's watching, he's spamming it. Is what I'm assuming. I mean, again, we got in here pretty late, so can't say for sure. But it's just.
But with him having like the lowest kills and having the highest DPM, if you look at the rest of the scoreboard right now, it seems exactly perfectly matched, right? Just in terms of kills, deaths, DPM. All of blue team just had the most equal DPM that you could possibly imagine, right? It just kind of shows that there was really no slouches on either side, and I think that really shows when it comes to the map score as well, obviously, right? I mean, going to 3-3, both teams trading punches, but no one really having too rough of a game. Everybody able to show up a good amount. And yeah, that's kind of just the story of that match, I imagine. It's going to be interesting to see how a tie plays into these teams' ability to make it into day two. Obviously, if they win their other two matches, they're for sure guaranteeing. But if you win one, lose one, it might be a little bit scarier to try to make your way into day two now. But yeah, I think we're going to try to cut for a break for just a little bit as we are going to Bagel, which, oh my gosh, I love casting Bagel. I don't know about you, but man,
Oh
is it
yes,
fun. It is
I
so fun to cast
remember.
Bagel.
I remember back when geography class played that lovely, lovely bagel match, the final one. Oh my goodness.
That was one of the most hype moments I've ever seen in a newbie cup. So yeah, I am very, very excited to get up. But yeah, a little short break. We're gonna get our matches figured out. Let all these teams finish up their own games as well. But yeah, I hope to see everybody back for map 3 of the newbie cup, and I'll see you guys then.
Everybody is so fighting. You might become fast and lightning. Oh, but stupid's a little bit frightened. Stupid frightened. I think you're frightened. I think you're frightened. You and I are in the road. A brilliant ball to fake. You can be worth the price. You just go all the way. No, but when it takes your price, I believe that you can win. Not only do you have to fight, that's not the win. Everybody is so fighting. You might become fast and lightning. Just because thinking more infinity. The journey's the only one. So much more than feel. Because you have to go. Don't want to be your hero. Does everybody else? Oh, oh, oh. A brilliant ball to fake. Work the prize. I'll go all the way. No one would attempt to break. I believe that you can win. You have to fight. But you have got to win. Because everybody is. Oh my God.
Somebody won't tell me the world is gonna will me. Ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
You fucking find the song with a finger in a song and the shit of it out on her forehead.
Well, because not coming and they don't stop coming, bet you do tonight. Well, what is it? It takes just a little fun. Bring it on and get it up. No, no, so if you take him on, go lay down. Your rap song is a tone and hey, holy shoot, God, break my mouth. It's a cool place. They say get pulled up, the bundled up, and I'll wait till you get pulled up. The video best face, the tipper, just in the hole in the satellite picture. I think it's been pretty thin. The was before for you might as well swim. The moon of fire, out of yours. We are lucky and not ever get for. Get the gang on, go, lay down, go, down, the trouble, get me. Oh, the glitter and burger. Holy shoot, God, break the whoa. for the moon. Let's go for the moon. Go for the moon. Go, go.
Volleyball, after the bed, long cheese, no chop, not eat the kebab, chopper with on his way.
Months to kill, 2 months to taste, 2 months more with they did the match break. You never know, we don't go. We're not sure this is don't know. Hey now, you're an after. If you came on, go. Hey now, you're an after. If the no one, yes, hey. Wake up, we should be stop right from low.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a oh, someday will a man come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore, and then on her a right whale bore. The captain told all hands and so someday one day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Da 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 da. Before the boat had hit the water, the wind still came. Oh, someday the man come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No lane was cut, no will be the captain's main. May the Wallaman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Da 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 da. For 40 days or even more, the lane been still take once more. Squirrel was ever bone for it still did go for. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as the fair, the fight's still on, the lane's not cut, and the whip's not on. The Wellerman makes his go. Someday will a man come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the will a man come. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which
I'm certain I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I am sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew, and through it all, when there was doubt, I ended up and spit it out. I faced it all, knife to toss, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that. And may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, oh no, not me. I did it my way. Oh, what is a man? What has he got? It's not himself. Then he has got to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who lives. Work it shows, I took the blows, and did it my way.
Tonight, I'm gonna have myself a real good time.
Tonight.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight.
And welcome back, everybody. We are back with some bagel action right now. Got two fresh teams, one off of AI, one that we're familiar with, and one new one versus Can of Worms.
Can of worms.
So yeah, as I was saying, we are back with Can of Worms versus match rescheduled here on Bagel. It's gonna be a little bit of a different thing than what we're expecting. Different play style, obviously compared to 5CP with a whole different game mode right now. Very, very excited to see what these teams have prepared up for us. I might have a little bit of bias in this match as I've helped coach one of these teams, that being Can of Worms. So I kind of ran them through on a lot of the goalie wash and the bagel stuff. So very, very excited to see these guys in action. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what Bagel has in store for us. Usually, it's a lot of nonstop action, a lot of us doing auctioneering, shoutcasting, and that sort of thing. But yeah, what are you thinking going into this bagel match?
Well, you know me, I'm always excited to look at Bagel, especially when we look down at these Newbie Cup games. I'm always, always, always excited to look at what these new players have to offer, how they open up Bagel. Sometimes new players look at the map in a way that someone who's played it for a really long time doesn't. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty excited to see if they do some like crazy aggro demo stuff or some crazy aggro soldier stuff. But I think you should go down that roster of Can of Worms since you are since you're a little bit more familiar with them. Go ahead and introduce them to everyone watching the cast here.
Yeah, gladly. Coached by Shoe Shocker, big homie of mine. Can of Worms starting off the roster on the medic OX. On demo we have City. Pocket Scout is going to be Dill. On Pocket Soldier we have Dieter. Flank Scout is going to be Evil Lass, and on your Roamer is going to be Happy Avocado. Oh yeah, I'm pretty excited about this roster personally. Like these guys have they showed a lot of practice in scrims and stuff like that. They've been doing lots of reviews. So I'm pretty excited to see what they have going.
Happy Avocado. That's a powerful name. That name just
It's
radiates
beast.
power for me, I think. But yeah, like I said, I mean, when you look at something like Bagel, it's definitely pretty dependent on what these demos are going to be able to do right off the bat. Are they able to get a bunch of damage, or is it going to be a stale, nothing burger, nothing fries, nothing drink kind of mid where you have to wait for maybe a house shove? Or are you just going to bank on the house shove in and of itself? There's a lot of strategies you can take despite, how closed off Bagel looks. There are a lot of things you can do to try and open up the map for your team and get yourselves into a kind of position to make something work. Like I said before, you can shove a house, or you can just commit to really early damage. Something that's a little less common, but I have seen a couple of teams do. They will just send their soldiers straight across the point. They'll just throw them.
Yeah.
They'll kind of treat it like a snake mid. They'll just bomb over and waddle across, especially if their soldiers are really good with their movement. If they can speed shot their way out of concrete. I've seen a couple people that will just waddle across and try and catch up with their teammates and do a bunch of damage that way. But there's a lot of ways to try and open things up here. There's a lot of ways to instigate. There's a lot of ways to defend. And Bagel, I feel, is one of the more elastic kind of Koth maps out there. It gives you a lot of opportunities to mess up, and it gives you a lot of opportunities to press an advantage that you may not be able to push on another map. Like if they had product, they might not be able to take a smaller kind of ad, or they might not be able to bully people as effectively while down a player. But Bagel kind of lets you do that regardless of your situation. So I am excited to see what these players have in store for us as we get ready to watch match rescheduled versus Couple Worms, or is it Can of Worms?
Can of
Worms, not Couple Worms.
And not to cut you off or anything, but I do want to let you guys know of one of our sponsors go here tonight. It's going to be liquid.tf. These guys have been great with supporting with this current newbie cup as well. If you want to check out liquid.tf, you can type !liquidtf. It's a great way to buy cheap unusuals, even up to 80% off of the normal unusual price. They're also the reason why all these players are getting medals. This is the first newbie cup that we've actually had medals given out for everybody. So, pretty hyped to see. I wish I got a medal when I did my.
That's what I'm saying.
Shout out to them for helping out in that regard. It's really, really cool to see. More people come in and try to help out the newbie cubs, because this is such a sick event we have going on. And one other thing to continue on the Bagel train of thought here. I always highlight this, and I think it's super, super important, is the 4-man sacks. They're so important on this map, right? They really, really will tell who has the more coaching, who has the more preparedness. It's just how fast people are willing to do their 4-man sacks and stuff like that. If you're not able to get in with a 4-man sack and then die right afterwards and really stagger your team, then you're going to be losing on a lot of value that you could have by just being more prepared and doing that sort of stuff quickly. So I really, really just hope that we see some teams that are more prepared in that regard, that are willing to go for these 4-man sacks, and just do them proper as well. Outside of that, just focusing on cap early on in these mids, definitely going to be another big point of focus for me. But yeah, is there any other things that you really want to keep your eyes on early on, as we are going to get underway soon? I imagine we're just changing map right now just so that all the configs are set up correctly and all that jazz. But yeah, what are you thinking?
Well, like you said, monitoring that cap, especially at the start of a round, is going to be very, very important.
100%.
Seeing the cap pressure, seeing how much cap time teams can reliably get right off the bat is definitely going to, I think, is going to spell out who is going to be taking home the win for this one. Or at least for that round. Watching the cap and making sure it can get edged out properly, you can edge out some of your cap time and make sure you have a bit of a time advantage on your hands. Even if you don't win that fight, you're still going to bully them and make it so they can't, have as much time taken off the clock as they would like. They're going to have to revert that cap. They're going to have to wait for it to go fully back. Then they've got to cap it, and that gives you enough time to get your players back up, respawn, ready to fight again, and try to. Reclaim that point for yourself, and hopefully, just prevent them from really taking away the win from you. I mean, edging cap time is something super, super important. I don't like that Fireside is lying. I'm not the producer. Don't listen to Fireside. Don't listen to Fireside. It's not me. But
Oh my
but
gosh.
production is framing me right now. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
If I speak, yeah. Man, we have fun here on Fireside. I'll tell you what. But yeah,
But yeah.
I'm just really excited to see who's going to be the aggressive. More of the team just like sort of trying to play safe. You know, a lot of the strategies that are usually comes to a big hole, especially early on in the mids or just as the game progresses, is just to really ignore a lot of fights and just more put pressure on the cap, try to keep your players healthy enough that you can press the issue that way, right? Um, but yeah, I'm really hoping that we see some pretty fist fight gameplay where everybody's just throwing themselves at you and just a lot of air shots. This is kind of the air shot air pipe sort of map, so should be getting some highlight footage here, I'm imagining.
Yeah, definitely going to get a lot of hype clips. If any of you remember, I believe it was Newbie Cup. What was it, 6?
Mm-hmm.
Surely it can't have been that far back, but it was whenever geography class played that we
How
watched.
can I forget?
We watched geography class have an absolutely insane final match on Bagel. I think it got down to it was neck and neck, I think, and they went double overtime in that game, and then they just barely managed to squeeze out the game winning, I think, cup winning dub as well.
Yeah,
and,
it was winning the cup, and it was like 4 1v1s back to back in like an overtime that was over like a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting it out for the last bit of cap time. I can't forget that because it was one of the most hype moments I've ever seen doing a cast as well. So, you know, Bagel really does facilitate that with this sort of objective, right? It doesn't really come down to one team being wiped. Oh, game's done, right? I mean, you have a lot more chance to wiggle your way back in if something does go catastrophically wrong.
Mm-hmm. I think the structure of the point definitely helps that kind of mindset where it's definitely it's seen more as the objective. I feel like you have a map like clear cut or product or another map where the point is kind of just buried into the ground. Everybody is just kind of fighting over that general area, but when you go to Bagel, that point is raised. You know, it's actually it's a piece of the fight. It is a piece of the puzzle that you have to incorporate into how you play. So soldiers being on top of that point, being able to spam down is something you have to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think having that extra little element, that extra little piece of the puzzle over there on the point is definitely something that changes the way Bagel does flow. But teams both have 6 players in the server, so I guess we are just waiting for them to rup. And as I say that, Match Rescheduled has hit the rup button, so we're just waiting on these teams to go ahead and tell us that they're ready. Or I guess not tell us that they're ready, but tell us that they're ready by hitting the rup button, I should say. And we'll watch these guys duke it out over the point here. But yeah, I mean, beyond, you know, demos getting that early damage, whatever they're going to do, and edging the point, making sure their cap time is strong right at the beginning. I'm not really too sure what else I would be looking for. Maybe some good soldier shoves through a house or two. But we are live as we go to this first round of Bagel on the final map of the Newbie Cup group stages.
Yeah,
we're going to be seeing a lot of early damage coming from Match Rescheduled as they bully away Kitty here from Concrete. Is going to do a lot of damage. The sniper comes out in the form of Kachi. Is going to be able to find a person. It's 4 players, 5 players dead on the side of Can of Worms, and they're getting obliterated right now. It's just Dilm 4 trying to find something, but definitely not going to be able to find a pick there as they are the last man standing. They're just going to get taken down now.
On the gas immediately, but Mr. Deadass is already in. They have no clue. all the way back through spawn right now. If they're not quick enough through getting out through one of these doors, this is going to be catastrophic right now. They are a little spotted, but he gets 2 rockets, 3 rockets onto Person, is able to take him down. Amazing flank to just push on the the whole wave that they already had. But it's crazy that the sniper is getting so much value. Usually on Bagel, we say not to run sniper just because the sightlines aren't the best in the world. But hey, if you're hitting your shots, run it. And there's another one ringing out right now.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if that got captured on the stream, but that was a nice headshot. And Kawachi's just going crazy, is absolutely not getting bullied here. So this is something definitely to mention here while we have the time. If a team is playing sniper on Bagel, you have to have pressure on him constantly. You can't afford to give him any breathing time. So this is where sending your soldiers over the point, you know, a little double bomb, maybe sending someone through a house would be very, very beneficial. You constantly bully that sniper. He's not going to be able to defend himself very well. So as soon as you take him down, they're down that player. They're down a scout if you take down that sniper as well, which is something to notice. You got to keep track of which class is actually off. You need to count. But it is going to be the tier, going to be taken down, or Creatine Eater, what a name. But Creatine Eater is going to get taken down there. The sniper is still alive and well. Humongous bomb, the force comes out. It's going to be a lot of low health on the side of match rescheduled here. Uber hasn't come out yet, hasn't even come online yet for the side of Can of Worms, but it finally does come online, and they use as soon as they get, as the soldier bombs in and does get that force. Is going to take a very long time to be taken down, as a lot of cap time coming out from the side of match reschedule, but they're not quite able to hold on to that point for as long as they'd like to. Now the sniper is caught out. Kachi stays in for far too long. Somehow doesn't die any quicker. Is able to get a punch off. How is he not dead? Shoot him!
Kill him!
Oh my goodness!
Gosh.
Oh my goodness, beefage to the max there, but eventually does die as the soldier there is able to find the final rocket. Does look like we're going to see match rescheduled try and push out of Concrete and Main here. Maybe a sack
Mr.
attempt
Deadass has the
Mr.
world
Deadass,
right now.
sure.
He's getting through and getting a bunch of damage. Find the medic, but that gives all his team the space that they need to walk top left area. They're already having Mr. Snookus on point, looking for whatever he can. Kauchi sort of peeking up in this left house. A lot of red HP on the side of Can of Worms right now, even especially their medic right now, and they're just going to lose pick after pick right now in these little one-on-one fights that they're deciding to take. Sort of covering up towards this lower area, but that's going to be Dillum not able to get anything for his own life, taken down by a pipe. So even Uber's right now, but the pick's definitely in the favor of match reschedule right now. But, you know, not too bad for them in terms of time. They have been able to get on the cap when they need to, and they're still keeping it relatively close in that regard right now. So we just need to see a really solid push out right now. You know, get their med out safely without immediately exploding. They're popping through left side, and they pop the Uber extremely early. They're going to be able to take down Mr. Deadass, but not much else except for Mr. Lax. Caught out a little bit too far forward. The demo pick is crucial right now. So as long as they're able to keep their medic alive and get this cap, then they might have a good time of getting Pearson out as the blue Uber is used. They're going to be looking for Pearson, who's just sort of running around in open space. No really clear direction on being able to get out right now. So big player ad and big Uber ad right now. Unless we have Dillum go through. He's looking for more. He's looking for Mr. Able. Not able to find it though on the back end. Spoon though from How on the point is able to get Snookus.
He surfed on the point and hit the garden.
Oh, he hit the B-hop too. That was sick, man. What?
Oh my god.
I can't believe what I just saw. That is a highlight I've ever.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Put that one in the highlight reel. You know, you might be down about 40 seconds off the clock, but doesn't really matter now, does it? You hit a clip like that. Does open up a slight window for the team to try and get through.
Oh, they're getting two.
Getting going to be able to find Lax here. Sugus is going to be able to find Dome 4 and is going to be able to walk onto the wood. Now he's going to be bombing forward, landing onto Kitty. Nice rocket coming out, another rocket onto the beam now as well. 4 rockets used there. Not quite able to find any picks, but does get their health down very low. Players are taking a little while to get healed. The person is beefing arrows. People won't sit still to get healed, I suppose. And, you know, a tale as old as time, perilous medic journey. People won't sit still. But, Yeah, it does look like, match rescheduled is, they have so much time at here. They can afford to really make a mistake or two. They are going to use out through concrete. Double sticky bomb coming from Mr. Lax here. Going to be behind the point. Going to be pitching them off like crazy. So much damage coming out. That Uber does come out from the side of Can of Worms, though. But they're going to be going for picks that are free on the side of match rescheduled. But they're not quite able to find anything. But it doesn't matter as they finally manage to find that collapse. And they are going to be able to take down all their players. They do deny their beam. I don't think they need to cap that point. But yeah, not by much at all. But a deny is a deny, and it doesn't really matter as Lax is going to be able to find Kitty. And what? How? They find 2 for that. Tungsten going to be able to find Dylan 4. Nobody's going to be able to get to the point in time to defend it. Maybe if Creatine Eater didn't get denied by that scout, then maybe he could have got to the point in time. But Lax there definitely.
He sealed the round in their favor just from being there and pulling it down, right? I mean, that's a great. Hey, we're about to go in overtime. If I can just delay them with my life, we win this round easily. So that's going to be a really, really solid first round for the side of match rescheduled. But for Can of Worms, that was still a very, very close round, right? They had a lot of time in there with a little bit of a fight going on the right side. It's going to be a 1-for-1 as Dylan does clean up that pick. And Dylan actually just runs all the way through. Mr. Deadass on the other side of things is always going to be bombing through, and it looks like the medic is alone. Pearson is just running for his life. Dieter is able to clean him up finally, but now med for med, and it's just going to be Mr. Couch dueling on such low HP is going to catch a rocket to the forehead from Dieter. So med for med right now, obviously mid 1 early on is just amazing, right? I mean, that's such free cap time that you get early on, and then the fact that you're not denying your medic by just the first cap being a thing. It makes it just exactly what you want to see, even though you're losing your medic on the back end.
Bomb through from Sookus as he lands on top of the point. Bow soldiers jump up to meet him, and that's going to be Tungsten in the right house, barreling through to concrete. Right behind the beam is going to be able to give him back shots. Finds Person, takes him down. 4 players down for the side of Can of Worms here. And all players down now. Team wipe. Just a massive cleanup from Sookus there. Able to find the rockets onto the final players. Putting them on that separate spawn wave as well. Not crazy time difference, but does stagger them just a little bit. And Mr. Deadass is pretty stanced up in lobby here. Is going to be bullying them with his life and barely takes any damage for it, and does spot that they are going to be moving down to lower. Kitty tries to go forward way too far in front of their team and is going to get punished for it. But now Mr. Lax is going to get taken down as well.
Soldier coming through looking for the cleanup. They're collapsing. Dieter in trouble, and he's going to get cleaned up himself. I mean, they're able to get that little bit of that kill onto the demo, but losing. Not really going for any 4-man sacks right now, as we do see Kitty bombing in, looking for anything, gets some damage onto the med, but only brings him down to 97 HP, so nothing really to come out of that, and it's going to be the demo dead for a while now if they're going to want to be doing any sort of push right now. These 4-man sack attempts are just so staggered right now. Look how far apart these deaths are, and they're going to have to wait for the last person to die to be able to do any sort of push out right now. I mean, Dieter dead for another 12 seconds, and Dylan is also in risk of dying right now, just standing in the lower. This is not what you want to see if you're doing 4-man sacks, right? This is not typical.
Oh my god, and they're getting so stuffed on concrete here. It is going to be Mr. Deadass going down, but it doesn't really matter as he finds Kitty. No demo for that Uber is going to be pretty detrimental. And match reschedule doesn't even want to pop. They're not even going to force with that Uber right in their face. They're going to hold on to it for as long as humanly possible, even if it means they have to drop players. They're going to hold on to that Uber so they can have it to deny that point, I'm assuming, or at least use into them. Not a great 4-man, and I think one of the issues we're seeing right now, I mean, we're seeing it again, Kitty is going in far too forward, and it's not just them, it's everyone. They're playing a little too fragmented here. I think they gotta group up a little bit more and really coordinate together, work as a team. Unfortunately, Creatine Eater is gonna crater there. It's falling apart on the side of Can of Worms here. They gotta maybe take a tack pause and just talk to your teammates here. Be like, hey guys, we need to play a little bit closer together. We need to group. We need to start talking amongst one another. Figure out what we want to do here. As we still have match rescheduled sitting on that Uber. It's about to even out, but they've been holding this forward for a pretty long time.
About 2 minutes straight.
I have to say, Creatine Eater is going to get taken down here. Sookus is going to get taken down by Dylan 4, so it is going to be a little bit of a trade, but we haven't seen Can of Worms try and push out anywhere so far. They are finally going to try and get out through lower. No Uber used yet, but a lot of damage coming out. They do
drop a
counter
scout
as they see match reschedule come in, but they do drop a scout, and they also drop both scouts. Now they're dropping what? How? It is only going to be one player dead for the side of match reschedule as Mr. Deadass goes down, but a lot of damage coming out from the side of Can of Worms, but it doesn't matter. Med on med violence. Mr. Abel going to be able to find person, and now Creatine Eater going to get taken down. Not enough players are going to be up in time on the side of Can of Worms, and what a direct from Mr. Oh, I don't even know. It was someone on their team.
Sukkis, yeah. Sukkis just standing on the point, just getting what he needs to do, you know? Just staying there, being the sentry turret that he needs to be for his team. So now this is dire straits if you're in Can of Worms. That first round looked a lot better, but the second round really, really segmented, right? They weren't doing a lot of the four-mans together. They weren't really trying to go for the cap like they were prior when they were pushing out, stuff like that. Just more going for these desperation plays and desperation Ubers even. I just really want to make sure that you know,
left house is getting absolutely obliterated. Sukkis is just stomping left house as they tried to send in, I guess that was Can of Worms attempt to a shove. Lax does go down, so they take down that demo early, and that fight is pretty much over right
but
away.
So much space given up as well, just by having those two players dead means that, you know, there's going to be rockets flying everywhere. And person not able to get out through the right side is going to be caught against the wall, and it takes a rocket from Sukkis. It's just a tragedy, man. You really don't want to see that. So much damage happening on the concrete. How taking out a 1 HP, and pick after pick right now. Just going to be Dylan running away all the way behind on 50 HP or so. Is able to get the pack, and so he can stay alive a little bit longer in this left house from his perspective, and able to limp away on such low HP. But man, is it segmented right now. It feels like everybody's just trying to get something done in their own solo way right now, and not really just playing as a team. And we are playing Team Fortress 2 after all.
I mean, it is in the game. It's in the name of the game, rather. And How does try and bomb forward, does get knocked off a slice by Sukkis here. Kachi going to be able to cheese a little dom off of that, and that's going to be a player down for the side of Can of Worms here. Really, really lowering their chances of succeeding here as Kitty tries to go forward and get that force, but it's not quite going to work out for them. Doesn't look like Can of Worms is going to be too successful. Oh, the roller from Mr. Lax ends up trading out Film for regardless. Oh no, it doesn't. This is not looking great for Can of Worms here at all. They do still have a minute 40 to find their way onto that point and flip the cap, but as it stands right now, they are struggling and they're not grouping enough. They're not working amongst one another. They're not working with each other, and it is really coming to bite them. And so we do see Dilm finally find revenge onto Kachi here as they find that pick. Kitty going to be able to find a pipe onto Mr. Deadass as well. Now some cap time coming in from Dilm Force. He runs across concrete trying to get that force out, but it doesn't work. And he doesn't really need the force.
No, the
traps! The person gets dropped by a trap on the point!
The most blind debt of all time. He was all the way in and spawn, and he gets that random right-click debt on drops person just as it was starting to look good for Can of Worms. Tragedy strikes yet again, and blue team immediately using their Uber out, bombing Mr. Lex in super deep, and they're just looking for anything that they can. The only little thorn on their side is going to be Dylan, just on the back end, looking for the medic, gets 2 shots under the scout, but is not able to find anything in return. But man, I don't know, I feel like that debt might just seal this match right here as we have the rest of red team just in spawn building up. It's going to be somewhat even Ubers, so it might be a little bit easier for them to push out if they can find something, but they have to contend with Mr. Deadass holding it down in the secret area by himself. I mean, this flank has worked out before, and if they're not thinking about it, it might just happen again. They're going to look through the top left area, but Snookis goes through, gets Dylan, and gets Evilus as well. So major picks right now, especially if you're this low on time. It's going to be the red demo caught on point alone by himself, and rest of blue team just looking for any sort of pick that they can. They're moving as a unit right now, a pack even, and they're just getting kill after kill, losing one in return, but it does not matter when you have this much momentum on your side and an Uber to boot.
Yeah, this is not looking great for the side of Can of Worms here. I mean, 15 seconds on the clock. You don't have players up. You're waiting for respawns. Now 7 seconds. 2 of your players, both of your scouts aren't even going to be able to get in. Kochi on a 7-kill streak here, looking to find Creatine Eater. They do Uber on top of the point to prevent anyone else from getting any more cap time, so it's perma denied. What the hell goes for the Garden on the man on top of the point, but it doesn't really matter. And now it's going to be Person dying at the very last moment here. And Can of Worms cannot win this. There's no way they can turn it around, as match rescheduled is going to be able to take away Bagel in a clean 3-0 sweep. I'm going to be interested to take a look at the logs on this one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was a very explosive.
Uh-oh. I think my co-caster is turning into Megatron. But let me find these logs here. If I wasn't blind, reading words would be a lot easier. Here it is. So checking out these logs, let me get this to you too, Mr. Production. Here you go. Looking at these logs here, I mean, it's only, you can only say so much, especially about a steamroll there. I mean, look at Kochi. I mean,
Yeah.
20, 29, 13, and 3.
Absurd.
Kochi died 3 times. Only person in the lobby besides Mr. Abel that died with 3 deaths. You know, it goes to show just how well match rescheduled can protect their beam and how well they are able to really isolate these players. And it doesn't help that Can of Worms was playing just a little too fragmented. The players weren't working together. They weren't going all at the same time. So it was just not working out for them. Maybe Bagel isn't their map, but they do have the rest of the time to review. Who knows? Maybe they won 2 games before this, and we'll see them tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't have access to the bracket. At least I haven't found the bracket.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
But
it'll kind of be up in the air as we have to figure out as well for a lot of these teams that are having draws and stuff like that are going like, 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss. There might be some other factor in terms of like round wins of who really makes it into the second day. So it's kind of just up in the air, and it's going to really, really matter for these last few matches of who does make it in and who doesn't make the cut, really. There's a few teams I'm really just hoping to see that we've seen today as well, that clearly showed a lot of promise and clearly showed that they could take it all the way. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to see what we have going on in the future here.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely really interesting to see match rescheduled, because we know for a fact they're going to be showing up in day 2. There's no question about it. If this is how they played in the 2 matches we've seen them in tonight, I don't want to think about how they played on Process. I feel like that would just be a massacre.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. The real question is, these guys they show a lot of promise. They show that they work together as a team. The question is, are they going to be able to keep that up throughout what is the entirety of tomorrow, which could go on for much, much longer?
Yeah, for sure.
As I believe once we start getting into the playoffs portion, matches are going to start turning into best of series where you have multiple maps. Or I think that's at least for the Grands. I think we'll have a best of 3 in that bronze match as well. So when we're looking at match rescheduled, if they're able to make it all the way into the Grands, will they be able to keep up that momentum as they, power through 3 maps back to back to back? Is the real question.
Yeah, it obviously remains to be seen. I mean, the format of having to play more best of 3s and stuff like that is really, really going to matter for a lot of these teams. You just have to have a lot of stamina. I mean, today already takes a lot of stamina from my experience playing in newbie cups. Just 3 matches back to back, playing for 3 hours straight. You have scrims where you play for like a long period of time, but it's very, very different when you're full focus, just playing for every single round and every single micro interaction. It is just mentally exhausting. So do not want to understate that to any degree whatsoever. I do believe that we're going to be hopefully finding another match right now. But it seems like with how Koth is, that they've all sort of wrapped up. So that might just spell the end of day 1 of the Newbie Cup. Really entertaining matches that we got to watch so far, though. There was a lot of highlight moments for me. Do you have any favorite moments that you saw from today that you could want to just reminisce over?
Man, I don't know. I that first game we watched, that air shot on process was pretty hype.
Banger.
The double pipe too, air shot for air shot, going band for band on the
Like
clip.
30 seconds after? Yeah.
Yeah, like he got his revenge. I don't think it was on the guy who air shot the one person, but they did get their revenge. You know, they said, "Hey, no air shotting my teammates. Let me show you what a real man's air shot looks like," and then with the double pipe. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know. That
sick.
first match was pretty interesting. I do think we have an extra match. It is
We
the
have a
final round.
Oh, hype. Let's get in
I
there
believe
quick.
we call this the Thug Finals
Mm-hmm.
as we load into this. And if I load in there, I'm going to start casting instantaneously. I don't care what's going on. My auctioneer
yeah.
casting will bust out, and it looks like it's going to be glass of grape juice again on that blue team.
Familiar face. Two familiar teams.
Veka, two familiar teams, very, very much so. We watched Veka on Gully Wash last game against match rescheduled here. So it's going to be an interesting matchup here as both teams are sub 1 minute on the clock here. It is going to be Isaac getting taken down by Ultimate Cubchu here as Veka is also able to assist him there. A lot of damage coming out from the side of blue team as they are getting a lot of spam onto concrete, but it doesn't really matter all that much as they are down 2 players. They might be down 3 here soon. Yes, they will. What an air shot. I believe there was an air sticky coming out from Gerben onto Butter, if I am not mistaken.
Pragus gets an air shot of his own, though. He's going to shove the rest of the blue team out, though. They have to contend with a few more seconds of cap time to deal with, but if Gerben is just getting these traps down, then it's going to be a lot harder for them to do anything. Cubchu able to find another as well. They're just staggering so many players. It's going to be Isaac spawning for 8 more seconds than the rest of his team right now. It's going to make it a lot hard for them to have any sort of push out. And then with the Uber ad on the side of Dingle right now, they might just have this round in the bag. They're pushing into the enemy team's house. They're going to pop that Uber right into their face right now. Unless players are getting behind or anything like that, this might just be the end of things right here as they're looking for more. Glass of Grape Juice on such low HP. It could be Vecna looking for the melee, but going to be cleaned up by Hero on the back
potential coming in. It is going to be the Demo dying on the mid. Skuyo takes himself out as they fight Gerben, but the point might be capped at the very last moment. This does add a little bit of time. Wait a minute, but if Red caps this, they still have an extra 2 seconds-ish.
They do find out, though, in the end. Pizza Hut bossing up on point right now. It's going to be the Demo bombing in. It's taken down immediately.
Down by Pragus. The point flips into Red's hands, and it doesn't even matter as it is going to be Red team here. Dingle is going to be able to take home the Dubski for Bagel here. Interesting Thug Finals to take a little gander at there. I don't know if we want to go ahead and take a look at logs. That was just
I don't think we need to. That was more
like
for
a final hurrah. You know,
yeah.
Little bit of entertainment for the audience there.
It's sick to see Dingle win this one, though. I mean, we saw them struggle a little bit more on their match, if I remember correctly. Making it sort of like an even thing. Ending with a tie. So that's got to be big for them. That probably is a way to secure yourself into the day too. So congrats to them. I'm assuming we'll see them tomorrow. Hopefully at some time. Hopefully if they don't bomb out really early on. But man, really, really good day one of TF2 gameplay. This was super fun. I'm really, really glad that I always get to cast this stuff as our 4th. It's crazy to think about our 4th Newbie Cup casting together.
Yeah. Well, I guess before we sign off for the night, one final mention. The Newbie Cup is sponsored by Liquid.tf. All players playing are going to get a participation medal thanks to Liquid.tf.
Shout out.
Exclamation point Liquid TF in chat for more information. It is the premier marketplace to buy unusuals. You can get up to like 80% off compared to other places. It is just a really, really good deal. They're all pretty cheap. And again, they are sponsoring the Newbie Cup, and they are giving every player a participation medal. So big ups, big thanks to Liquid TF for sponsoring the event. But I think that's going to do it for me. I guess, do you have any shout outs to give while we finish up day one?
Shout out all the coaches, even though the teams that didn't make it. Shout out all the teams that did not make it specifically, right? I mean, it is such a commitment to do this Newbie Cup. And every single time you see so many people to set outside some time just for their teammates, for their, for everybody else to be able to play. So shout out everybody for participating. Shout out the amazing coaches for continuing to participate again and again and to make this event possible. I know I would not be here if Newbie Cup was not a thing, so it always has a special place in my heart just seeing it continue and seeing it go on and on with new faces showing up all the time. People who used to be coached in Newbie Cups that are now coaches themselves. Just amazing effort all around, and thank you again to TF2CC for continuing to run this event.
Yeah, again, I guess my shout outs TF2CC as well. All of the coaches, the event literally would not be possible without all of the coaches that sign up. And again, shout out all the players as well. You know, I don't think we can really shout out anyone that you haven't shouted out. So I'll keep mine short and sweet there. That's going to do it for us tonight at Fireside. Tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We'll be right here.
Yep, we'll be right here waiting for you all to tune in, and hopefully the playoffs will be just as exciting, if not more, than all the matches we've seen today. But yeah, that's going to do it for us tonight. We will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Newbie Cup Day 2 playoffs.
Love y'all. Have a great night.